Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
Alright folks, welcome to day 5 of the Esports Club presents Showdown Series Season 7, powered by Crucial by Micron and of course our media partner Gossip.gg. We are back with yet another bang of matches, this time in the lower bracket series. All up to 8 teams. Now we're going to go all the way to 4 teams. I'm your cast for today, Augusta. Alongside with me I have my co-caster Azora Aiden, as we are here to talk about the amazing matches that's going to happen for today.
Indeed, it's super exciting to know that all of a sudden the stakes are high, and now from 6 teams it's down 4 teams. Soon, that's after these 2 games are going to commence. So super exciting moment, alongside the pressure as well is going to surmount to the point where all of these teams are going to figure out how to work around things with and play it to their best. We're talking about the prize pool, why they're fighting, what they're fighting for, the bragging rights alongside the prize pool. Yes, it's a whopping amount of 1 lakh rupees INR. The first place winners get 50,000, second place 30,000, and third place is 20,000 INR.
Of course, 50,000 rupees for first place in the Showdown Series Season 7. The prize pool itself is looking really amazing for especially the newcomers and the young guns who are currently in the South Asia region. So all in all, it's a really great prize pool, and also we'll get to take a look at the updates of the double elims brackets that we have as of now. Right now we'll be talking about our 2 important lower brackets matchup of round number 2. It will be up against Team 120 FPS versus the Covenant, and of course we'll be having our second lower brackets matchup between Team Untitled and Asterisk.
Well, Untitled and Asterisk, yes, it's going to be a super exciting competition, but not to forget 120 FPS lost to Amigos Esports yesterday with a scoreline of 2-0, and now is a redemption time to yet again prove that 120 FPS with all of that revamping, that they are amazing. So yeah, it's that situation, right, where you need to understand how to figure out things at this point of time, because yesterday after that loss of 2-0, you need to mentally reset yourselves and get back into the game. So how are they going to do it? We're soon going to see that.
Yeah, the same situation can also be said for the side of Team Asterisk, because the previous season they used to be ex-champions, right? And now
Exactly.
they're currently facing the danger zone. So let's take a look at the top 4 players in the Showdown series, where we'll be able to get to see a certain standings. We did get to have a lot of stats, and we did talk about yesterday of how that stats really did change from player to player, and we get to see that right here. F Champa, Tricky, Cyrax, and Caramel. Let's not forget, especially in yesterday, we had Paradox, who was in 4th position. Now it's Caramel who took the spot.
Caramel has been one of those players who always knows how to find his forte, right? Right from the beginning, the role swap sees itself from Duelist, later on heading towards Sentinel, and from Sentinel, he's the lurking Sentinel nonetheless. To bringing in all of those first frags and the early blood being dropped right off. It's amazing that he's competing every single place, talking about the level up leaderboard alongside the top 4 as well. Talking about that, as you all can see, he's still there in the top 3. For now, securing the 2nd spot, and on the top, it is Doxer, as always. And surprisingly, it's a rivalry inside the team itself.
Yeah, but in the end, they have to work together as a team in order to complete the matches, especially since the eliminations is on the line for the side of Team 120 FPS. They'll be going up against the side of the Covenant. And talking about Caramel's performance as the Lurk, he's been doing an exceptional job. So is Doxer as the initiator as well, right? So they've been doing a lot of great works from their end, and hopefully we'll be able to get to see a lot of changes that could happen in the level up leaderboards. For now, let's focus on the match at hand and get to see the head-to-head statistics between 120 FPS and also from the side of the Covenant.
The Covenant, they have been doing surprisingly well as a new roster altogether, and implementing the ways they can go ahead and take those strategies downright towards the maps. I'm super impressed by their performance, and talking about the head-to-head, it's going to be Specs against Caramel. And Caramel, look at that. The difference is night and day. First bloods being drawn is 19 from one end, and the other end is just a single digit, which is 9. Close to 10, but still Specs needs to prove that point.
Yeah, and the best thing about Caramel is that he is 10 kills away of receiving 100. He's currently on 91 kills, and today itself, by completing the matchup, we'll be able to get more. Basically not 10, it's 9. Like I said, my max is a little bit weak, so I'd usually just cancel out the ones and add 10s instead.
Wow, it's all right. I'm there, right, Baba Gusta? We can
73
always
kills for Specs as well, really good.
balance out the odds. 73, yes, he's also having a really good time, but hoping that in the upcoming match against 120 FPS that they're prepared with all of these gameplays and the map picks as well, especially whenever it comes to 120 FPS. Yesterday, they did choose a Haven that they thought they're going to win against Amigos Esports, but unfortunately, the entire rush meta that they were about to establish and get those rounds towards the attacking half, they could not do that. So that's the primary mistake, especially when it comes to Heaven, the 3-sided map. Always, whenever you're putting all the eggs in one basket that is towards the attacking side, you might as well calculate all of your moves carefully. But that carefulness was not there. It was carefree movements coming in, and all of a sudden, they were crumbling down.
Yeah, it was none other than Amigos who ended up gaining the advantage on the aggressive methods. Although it was a mirror matchup nonetheless, it was Team Amigos who ended up being victorious. So Amigos Esports, they are in the upper bracket finals, and they'll be having a huge matchup up against the side of Team 10-7, which is, like I said, an all-star team who are slowly making their way towards the grand final spot. But you still have another, for the upper bracket matchups, they still have a safety net in which if they lose, they still have another chance. But the problem is that they'll be having a rematch, and that could be a very dicey situation for them to be in.
We have already seen 2 teams' departure.
Yeah, 2 teams.
Both of them ending with frags.
Yeah.
0 frags alongside shadow frags. Both of them are gone. And for now, they're just enjoying the entire bit of this Showdown series, understanding what mistakes they have made. But I believe it's going to be the same case with 2 more teams today. And that itself rings a lot of warning bells. And with those warning bells, how well can they play is the question. It shouldn't be a landslide victory is what we're expecting, both me and Baba Gusta at this point of time, that 2-0s has been one of those trends for 2 consecutive days, but now is the time to break that chain. And talking about the map veto, ladies and gentlemen, we have it right in front of us, and we can understand what kind of picks are commencing from either of the sides. TC. Well, the Covenant have chosen it's going to be Ascent from their end, and yet again the Haven map from the likes of 120 FPS.
So maybe we will expect to see a Neon be in play on a map like Haven.
Maybe.
Or maybe we could see the Covenant do the same exact thing on a map like Ascent. We clearly see that even with the patch notes, nerfing Neon in a way that it could change the meta slightly. We did clearly get to see that in the previous round as well, that Neon can still, Neon is still viable on certain situations, especially on Haven, where she can just sprint her way all the way towards A long, right? There's a lot of long corridors where Neon can just quickly get into the site. And all in all, I have to say that for map number 1 Ascent, I wish the side of the Covenant the best of luck, because they just, secured an important win in the lower brackets. Now they are up. Now they'll be going up against Team 120 FPS. And as we take a look at the agent select, we'll be seeing a deadlock being picked from the side of the Covenant. Interesting picks coming in from them.
Well, I'm not surprised at all. Deadlock is going to play aggressive, trying to keep all the enemies at bay. The barrier mesh is going to help a lot. And Cypher alongside the dual sentinel is going to give a lot of information for the Covenant, alongside Sova as well. 120 FPS, they're sticking with their guns. They know that one sentinel is enough. That is Caramel. He's going to lurk all across, get those frags. Being the KJ, he has a turret as well as the sixth man alongside the control towards mid if they're starting as defense in the beginning itself. And yeah, that's the kind of situation or the scenarios that 120 FPS wants to go ahead and make. And let's just dive right into the game and understand whether it's going to be true or not.
Yep, without any further ado, folks, let us jump into our lower brackets matchup between Team 120 FPS versus the Covenant. And it's also interesting that we do get to see the side of the Covenant go on attack first, knowing that they have double sentinels, which means that in the second half, the Covenant will be even much more powerful in the second half, basically having an impenetrable defense. But it always comes down to time. We just need to check out and see whether if it would work out or not. And a little bit of Factoid coming in from our end. Hello, Factoid. It's really good to see you once again. And he's giving us some words of wisdom. A balanced map favoring teams with strong mid control and coordinated site executions. Both the 120 FPS and the Covenant have demonstrated proficiency here, making this matchup particularly exciting. Of course, you are absolutely right. Talking about the map Ascent itself, it's a vanilla map. Everyone loves to play this map, and also the changes that we do get to see in the agent select makes us really curious on how well it, which team would it favor to, especially with the major changes on these synergies.
The competition has gotten more fierce now. 120 FPS, they had a lifeline. They have unfortunately lost that, hence heading towards a lower bracket. And now once we talk about them, right, we always get this one picture that 120 FPS, before in Season 6, it was a different roster. And now all of a sudden there is one single addition, which is completely baffling the minds of the opponents. Caramel.
Yep.
Doxer as well. He has been that game changer. He did provide a lot of information, especially in this map in particular. Both these teams are very, very confident, alongside comfortable as well. So again, things do trickle down to this one factor, that who's going to make that first mistake? Who is going to trespass towards mid thinking it's their own land and at the end get punished from the hands of the attackers or the defenders? Plus, the pistol rounds, they are very vital, Baba Gusta.
Yeah. And especially it's very vital for the side of the Covenant, because they're the ones going on attack. And let's not forget that agent selects having double sentinels, which is really powerful for lurk games or maybe execute towards the site. But especially in the attack rounds, they will be a little bit weaker in a way that they're more defensive. Especially on the side of executes, the only players that you could heavily rely on could be the duelist Jet and also Specs, who's currently playing as the controller. So blocking lines of sight, dashing in with the help of the smoke to close out the doors towards market. But what happens after that? Do you have any flashes? You can only rely on the owl drones followed up with the recon darts to provide information. But there are no flashes, so it's going to be difficult for them.
Greeny is playing today.
Oh yeah, just realized Greeny is just playing today.
Yep. From the likes of 120 FPS, it's Greeny. Caramel is going for the controller role. That is something big. We usually see that he always chooses that sentinel role, the KJ. But now that Greeny has already stepped up to the task, let's see how well it's going to work around. Even Sonic He's the initiator, but now he has chosen to be the sentinel. So all of these switcheroos in the last moment, how good is it gonna be, Baba Gusta?
Yeah. I'm really excited to see Kramil have a controller set up. I mean, a controller agent, but right now, really we get to witness Smoka apparently engaging a gunfight in towards mid. Challenging mid will be a little bit difficult, knowing that the control is favoring from the side of the Covenant. They want to make sure that none of those flanks would be in their favor. They're currently playing for picks. You have a lot of traps being played, especially all the way from the back sides of A long, to ensure that none of the players from the A side would make their presence known or maybe get control on top mid, which would be very crucial, especially on the side, especially when they're heading towards the execute towards B.
They're taking things very slow, and I like that. The Covenant for now spots Greeny. Greeny down to 20 HP. Shutter is gonna go up for now instead of closing down because there is the barrier mesh, which will provide a lot of information. Greeny for now sneaking right inside the smoke, but Sonic, he's gonna spot him. There are trades coming through one by one, but there's one man who's still holding the boathouse till the very end. It's gonna be Smoker, but he's bitten right off. 2v3. We're 120 FPS. Caramel, he's still there around the block itself. It's a fake TP, but still Caramel stands true for that fight.
Survives in 5 HP, and even with the distraction that worked really well, Caramel will end up winning that fight. All up to the Omen. Caramel in a 1v2 situation. Damage will be dealt around. Sonic very low on Sonic around 39 HP, but here comes Snowflex, taking out the player, and also a victory from the side of the Covenant nonetheless. 1-0 as we proceed to round number 2 of the lower brackets.
It was a good try coming in from 120 FPS, but unfortunately, the attack was sublime from the Covenant. I don't know, this team has been evolving themselves from the first day to the 5th day. They're completely different human beings. They have understood the entire pattern of the opponent teams. They sit, they analyze their gameplay, understand what kind of mistakes they're making or committing. What are those loose ends? And according to that, they're functioning like a single unit. Now in the previous round, they could go in for a post-plant, so they have the bonus as well. But talking about the other end, they have gone in for those sheriffs, swinging right across. Smoker, the first one to go right off. And Sonic, he has the access towards Catwalk. But unfortunately, it's Doxer seizing the control towards mid, gets the second shot as well. And all of a sudden, things have been jeopardized. Muffin Senpai, good for 2. And it's going to be a big floodgate opening. Caramel gets the second as well. This is individual brilliance we're talking about right here. Couple of these players have changed the entire tide. Doxer first off going for 2 kills, and now it's Caramel, last man standing. Specs, he's gonna go against a team who has already upgraded those weapons. Near to close angle, but it's Caramel. Oh my god. What a comeback. A Thrifty being pulled right off. 120 FPS, embarking a really good journey now.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. And with the double peaks in towards mid, choosing to go past through the smoke, which is a very risky decision for them to go through, but a very high reward nonetheless. Getting not only just 2 weapon upgrades, Caramel also came back. The entire shot was just instantly dismantled. And what a way to steal the round, a Thrifty at that too, as we get to see in the scoreboard from Caramel a total of 4 kills. And now there is pressure brewing around the side of the Covenant. Oh no, Greeny and Doxer, both of them get picked out. Not quite sure what exactly happened from this place. But here comes Smoka. Let's go in for some impact, maybe some damage control. Hoping to find, he gets 2 back to back. The Vandal does its work. And here comes Near, very close towards the enemy's place. But they have control on the side. They could go in for the post plant, and it's going to be even much more tougher situation for FPS.
Yes.
But he forgot about Near. He is so close and deadly. He gets 2, and Caramel comes in with the final shot. And once again, it is none other than 120 FPS who will stay back to ensure that the control of B will be theirs. 2-1 is the scoreline.
Smoker, credit where credit is due. This man, look at him, gets the first shot. He activates the dash. He knows that he needs to get yet another kill. Gets that, activates the dash again, and he dodges that shock dart as well. Not providing the control towards market at all, and the paranoia. My god, I'm loving the sides of 120 FPS. But on the other end, they have been doing a significant heavy lifting as well. I'm talking about the Covenant. In the previous round, they managed to bring down 2 big weapons with just classic. And to my surprise, Deadlock in this map alongside another Sentinel, it's working out to be a charm.
Yeah, it really is. 120 FPS, what a way to recover quickly on round number 2 and 3. They gotta be careful on Smoker though. Operator very close, way out in the open. He's looking for this shot. The dash is also ready, and I believe the Covenant, oh boy, this is not looking good. He needs to escape, and evidently we get to witness Smoker getting caught from the Annihilation. My goodness, this is not good at all. A high risk from the side of 120 FPS immediately gets destroyed.
He's gonna get the weapon as well. The mid control is completely open. It's a gaping hole with 120 FPS. They're not going to do anything about it. No matter how hard they can resist, it's Muffin Senpai already entering towards deep in the enemy territory. Way too low on HP, fragment in hand, and he tosses right near it itself. He knows that the player might be lurking towards that area. But look at the entire 5-man squad. They're heading towards the side. B is going to be the plant. From here on, the control already dwindling right across. The entire point of bringing in the barrier mesh is just changing the entire ideology of 120 FPS itself. No matter how hard they resist, it's that they can be stopped at that very moment itself. Near that was really good flick. Couple of frags. It's all going to be easy peasy, but unfortunately, he's going to fall prey. Karamel, last man standing, lurk game on point. Mid control, gets a couple of frags, and now is heading to safety. That's how you want to do and get that operator. That's big. Sonic, all of a sudden, if he thinks that his annihilation worked for the best, and he peeks towards mid, there goes yet another weapon.
Look at the positionings too. They are going in for the frags. They are trying to take out Karamel because they know that they have an open hand. But we are going to see the win coming in from the side of the Covenant nonetheless. Beautifully well done, using the annihilation to catch the Jet. And not only just that, it was a very risky decision for Smoker to be way out in the open. I know he was trying to go in for an important peak, but the counter of it, when you did get to see the owl drone being deployed, and he just starts immediately realizing that the Jet is so close in towards mid, the aggressiveness just continues to grow. Not being able to secure that first shot will not only just lose the fight, but also giving them the win for the side of the Covenant nonetheless. 2-2, the score count is equalized, and once again Smoker wants to go in for an aggressive peak once more. The only problem is that the information is high. 2 shots missed. The paranoia will catch, and that will force Smoker to go back towards B. And here comes the pressure that will come in from the side of the Covenant soon enough.
Smoker still waiting. Crosshairs trained. And all aboard the Octane. He hits his shots. It's all gonna be bad. But Sonic, at the nick of the time, he has managed to run right back. But he could see the Sonic sensors being placed in as well. Smoker, he's a wise lad, knows that the player might be lurking inside the smoke itself. Karamel, it's all weight on his shoulders. And look at the owl drone giving a lot of perspective there. The A main is completely open, but it's all the sound that they're cutting right off. After thumping like an elephant, they're cutting the sound, heading towards Catwalk, and from there on, they're going to do that double force entry coming in. But Nair, he knows all the shenanigans coming in from the opponents. Muffin Senpai activates his Blade Storm, and he's waiting for the praise. Smoke right in front, Cloudburst yet again, just to get the position advantage, and Karamel, his weapon was seen one by one. They're all falling prey. There needs to be a control coming in right now, and Doxer, he manages to do that, getting that perfect amount of kill alongside the Hunter's Fury as well. Good commitment, and there comes Smoker. The reinforcements and the cavalry, they have arrived, taking all of the players one by one, and Greeny, he seals shut the entire enemy team. The Covenant, well, it was a good strategy altogether, but unfortunately, you need to be a tad bit more quicker than just that.
They took way too much time to rotate and then make their executes towards shot. I'm pretty sure that when it comes to the execute, you always need to rely on Karamel's paranoia, right? That's the only ability that could help them secure maximum amount of success.
Yep.
And that's the problem with double sentinels.
Indeed.
They're really good at defense. But when it comes to attack, you need those flashes. You need those smokes to block lines of sight. And currently, Caramel is the only one who can do that. The rest of it is just traps. It's just info that you can get from Cypher and Muffin Senpai, who's the only one who can go in with the engagement. And he's just gone.
Well, the engagement seemed like it just got away real soon. Yeah, good for one. The boxes is a complete good angle for him to capitalize. Sonic yet again with his shenanigans, but this time it's gonna be a sheriff in his hands. Mocha, mid control. Little do they know the spike is right around the corner itself. The recon bolt is gonna give a lot of information. Deadly. Thing that will insight onto where the opponents can be, but this sneak attack is gonna be a lot bigger. Dogs are good for just one, and he's instantly gonna go ahead and utilize his ability, but in the nick of the time, it's Deadly and Sonic chiming in. They can get those weapon upgrades, unless it's this man Smoker who denies it, but constantly he's been barraged with all of those pistol shots, and there goes yet another person. Yeah, it was the Sheriff, but a good round nonetheless for the likes of the Covenant. Even though it was an eco round, 120 FPS, they could drop 3 weapons.
Not only just that, like you can clearly see that every time you see Smoker has the open hand, you need to make sure that you make your shots count. Missing shots like this in the early round is not a good way, because if you miss that shot, you're basically out in the open. You're basically in the danger zone. You'd get caught out. You'd get destroyed. So you really have to make those shots count. And talking about another factoid coming in from the side of TEC, Caramel is a top tier entry fragger with a remarkable 1.25 KD ratio across TEC Showdown Season 7. And not only just a remarkable fragger, but he's also, like, he knows his roles right. He's playing as the Sentinel, he's playing as the Controller, he might play as the Initiator, he might play as the Duelist. He's like an all-rounder at this point. He's a flex player in a way that no matter what kind of agents he play, he still delivers that multi-kill. He still delivers the opening, and that opening is more than enough from the side of 120 FPS to deliver that, march towards victory.
But if you guys want that victory as well, the W in game or in work life as well, then Crucial's latest DDR5 5600 CL46 RAMs are your go-to. All of the information pinned down in the description alongside in the chat section as well. So click on the link, understand your product, and get it for yourself.
Absolutely. And also don't forget about the amazing blazing fast speed up to 1050 megabytes per second with Crucial X9 Pro portable SSD for faster speed. But right now let's just focus on the match as Smoker finally secures the first shot and also an impactful kill as the Duelist has been taken down for the count.
Mid is a part where still the contention is on. Till now, the map control is not there for the likes of the Covenant, and slowly but steadily, they do want that. But Doctor, what is that? Big getting the second one as well. Deadly taken right off the bat, and the third one. Doctor, what is that counter strafing? My man is just casually one-tapping all the opponents, and the last man standing, the controller, the Omen, does not even have the spike on him. Alongside Smoker, that was a really good backup for your team. Gets the 5th one on board. And in defense, the Covenant, yes, they're having a rough start altogether, but Ascent, mind you guys, it's a defense-sided map.
Yeah. Two sentinels from the side of the Covenant. So I believe their main goal is to survive first half. Ensure that they don't get, their economy is not looking good too. So the only thing that the Covenant can do at the moment is just try to survive rounds, try to steal rounds in a way that they could benefit it. But looking at Muffin Senpai, who just finds one, didn't get proper information on Caramel's whereabouts. Just use the paranoia, gets away to safety, but he still gets caught out from Deadly. The Stingers will definitely bring a lot of pain. And with the spike being planted, post-plant is definitely an important moment as Greeny figures out a way to get the kill, falls back to safety, and now it's a 3v3.
Oh, the neural theft is giving a lot of information. There comes the Hunter's Fury as well. Deadly, for now, he's just going ahead, parading all the enemies, but Greeny, he's still alive. He can clutch this one through. It's a 1v2. One player is towards hell, and he has unleashed hell upon Greeny. Specs with just frenzy. This entire team did not have good economy. They brought in all of those stingers alongside frenzies, which apparently has been buffed in the recent patches itself. And to perfection is what the Covenant have played the previous round. Hence, giving them the edge, getting that money factor to be on a positive side, Vandals all across, alongside full shields, no excuses whatsoever. With 120 FPS, there is still that operator into the picture that can create all the difference towards mid.
Trap's been set, so is the positionings from Caramel, as he's waiting for the information that the Opper can provide, either from mid-top or from the sides. And once he gets the info, maybe he could support it with Paranoia or maybe a smoke to block lines of sight. Some of the traps will be destroyed, giving away the information of certain players, but do they know that it's a trap from B? You clearly see that they're committing towards B side, hopefully providing some major distractions, but usually from the shadows will be able to provide those important information, and they clearly knows that thanks to Caramels from the shadows. They have the information, now they know that they're pushing in towards A, and here comes the execute from Snowflakes.
Executions all aboard towards site 8 itself. They're doing it so speedily. They want to gain all the red control and access. Shutter cannot be closed just yet, as it is slowly going down upon Caramel. The control is already gone, but the lockdown is in effect. It's for sure gonna flush all of the players towards the wine cellar, but really he needs to play a picture perfect role. But Deadly, all of a sudden he has taken charge, and alongside Near and Doxer, they're getting the side control. It's a 2v2 situation where the weaponry is one of the things which needs to be changed. Jet, do not use that operator till the very end. Annihilation coming in, and that Annihilation is gonna fall in perfect hands as well. Hence, taking that lone warrior Smoker towards death, reeling him in and getting the round as well. Fourth on board for the likes of the Covenant, and they're slowly and surely making things perfect in the first half.
Yeah, 3 more rounds left, and the performance from the side of the Covenant is absolutely exceptional. Really great plays, and also the Annihilation is just on point.
And it's there every single time.
It's there, it's present. Like 11 kills, and he has used 2 Annihilations. You clearly see that I believe he's also farming for alt orbs as well.
Of course.
So speaking of alt orbs, he's also gathering kills, and with that he got 2 Annihilations in the first half itself.
Usually it takes 14 kills, but I believe it's the plant coming in as well. But the mid control quickly sees right back. 120 FPS. They're quick. They are here to wreak havoc. Sonic, good for one, but there's the tripwire of Snowflakes. If the tripwire has been shot, the information will be revealed that the player is there towards the backside, and it is Caramel. Sonic slowly, steadily heading forward. Snowflakes for now good on to Doxer as well, and they're doing the damage control, heading all the way towards site A, getting that perfect analogy of where the opponents can be. But behind is where Caramel is going to stand, and it's all down to the last man standing, Snowflakes. And with that comes a thrifty for the likes of 120 FPS. Very well concluded. Knew that they have to take the mid control as soon as possible. They did that, getting 3 frags right off the bat within 5 seconds.
Yep.
The Covenant was gone.
3 kills from Doxer. Let's not forget, the previous matchup where we saw 120 FPS, we didn't see a lot of Doxer making his plays, right? Right now, we clearly get to see his performance here at the lower brackets.
Yep.
And the second thing I do have to talk about is that I was looking at the minimap from Caramel. There was a trap that had been laid from the Cypher, and all Omen had to do was just teleport towards the other side. With his location still being concealed, no information regarding on Omen's whereabouts, next thing you know, he gets away 2 kills. Caramel is just so on point. Hunter's Fury catching 1, taking out Sonic, and that is an important frag coming in from the side of 120 FPS.
In all of those 3 shocks, he could land all 3 of them. 2 onto Sonic, 1 onto the opponent Jet. Look at her, she's... Oh, sorry. It's the Cypher. So low, but Muffin Senpai for now, the Blaze Storm activated just to get more control. He has dashed back to perfection. He just wants to stay safe till the very end. Be the menace that he is. Near on the other end. Good fragment just to flush out players if they're playing that Smoker, good for yet another one. Deadly supposed plant, 1v2, but near. He jumps down and gets yet another frag. Snowflakes through the smoke. He has spammed onto one, but near. He knows that he needs to keep the enemy at bay. He cannot go anywhere. He cannot hide any side. And there comes the 7th on board for the likes of 120 FPS. Retrieves the operator, and that operator is going to be in the hands of Smoker yet again towards mid.
All it needs is just a smoke and the distraction to secure the spike defuse, providing 120 FPS the lead that they need in the first half. 7-4. The Covenant, once again, let's not forget, it's a double sentinel. So basically, they're just surviving the first stage. But once the second half comes into play, that's where dangers starts to seed in towards the side of 120 FPS. So they have to be careful. They clearly need to know how can they try to, dismantle their defensive strategies in the second half. As we clearly get to see in the last round of the first half, broken buys coming in from the side of the Covenant, which gives a lot of chances for the side of 120 FPS to win most of their gunfights.
Yet again, the execution towards side B itself. Muffin Senpai, good for 2. Blink and you miss is what Muffin Senpai tells. Gets a couple of frags. The entire side is open, up for grasp. And the Covenant, now they're running away with yet another round. It's a post plant, yes, but look at the positioning. Look at the man count advantage. Sonic towards the main area and Smoker. It's all down to him. How well can he play? Gets the first one. That's a good shot. But he needs to get more. It's not going to be that easy. There's a pop flash coming in near. There's a double peek near. He needs to be good, but no. He's been taken right off. Sonic. He's there to save the day. Spamming his Bulldog as well. 2v3. And in that, Caramel, he could not swing like the pendulum that he is. Smoker, he has even activated his Blade Storm. This is possible. 1v1. Has to go for the half diff. And Sonic on the other end, he's just waiting for the right opportunity. Goes for it. Swings and gets that perfect headshot. The 5th on board for the likes of the Covenant. And 7-5 as the first half ends.
7-5. 14 kills for Sonic, 13 kills for Doxer. You can clearly get to see the impactful plays that we get to witness in the lower brackets matchup. Now, like I said, the moment that I was been waiting for, this double sentinel defense on a map like Ascent. Clearly intrigued to see how well that they would counter it from the side of Team 120 FPS. Another factoid, Sonic is known for clutch plays, boasting a 75% success rate in post-plant situations this season. 75%. Like the number itself. Like when I completed my, college, my final result was 62%. His is more than that. Like 75%, it's a lot.
Wish you were in gaming, man. Wish you were in gaming. I bet that score would have been 100%. Sonic, now he's playing way too aggressive, placing all of his Sonic traps right there. Sonic sensors on point, and even that barrier mesh to avoid the push coming in from the attackers. That is 120 FPS. The roles have already been swapped. And in order to get that early capitalization of a couple of rounds, the Covenant, they need to win this pistol. Smoker still waiting, aggressively holding that 45-degree angle, expecting that there might be a push coming in. Sonic, and he is getting antsy. He wants to understand what the entire situation is. As the barrier mesh fades away, there's going to be the entire commencing of this full squad to head towards the side. Greeny, good on Sonic. And there comes the execution towards side B. Post plant, and yes, the control, it looks like it has already been lost from the likes of the Covenant. They need to play it picture perfect, but looking at the way the hidden angles are right there, the off angles from the likes of 120 FPS, it looks very dangerous for them to go ahead and achieve anything. And Near, he was so close, and every single one of them from the likes of the Covenant ignored him, thinking that he might be a dummy piece. But no, he got 4 frags in the previous round.
Let's not forget, it was a triple peek from the side of the Covenant. It was a triple peek through the smoke. One of them holding from stairs, the other looking right directly at Near, and the other who was trying to make sure, to check some info towards market. 3 of them didn't work. Near just clicked heads. All 3 of them.
Sometimes people mistake KO as a ragdoll.
I mean, he is a robot after all, so maybe he could, use the power of AI to do ragdoll.
For that, he has the ultimate, right?
Yeah, he has the ultimate, null command. No, it just suppresses them. But yeah, talking about the match itself, Karamil, headshot from the Ghost and Smoker. Immediate pressure towards the side, but somehow Snowflakes, the upgrade. This is looking huge, but not for long. Karamil gets back.
Too good to be true.
Yeah, too good to be true. The Vandal upgrade, not anymore, as Doxer gets a wall bang to take out Muffin Senpai. 2-3 as the Covenant facing major issues in the second half.
Major issues, fragment just to keep the enemies at bay. Sonic, I want to see that percentage coming through, but near the shots are going to be amazing. Specs on the other end. He can try something real good. He can drop a weapon or two at the bare minimum. Because clutching this round seems impossible with just a frenzy. No weapon upgrade. Gets the first one. The second one will be very tough and near. From the previous rounds, confidence. He still is steamrolling forward. Even though he was so low on HP, clutches the round, gets that frag, and the entire upgradation. That was too good to be true. Snowflakes, for a second, he was like starstruck. Oh my god, Vandal. I'm gonna pick it. I'm gonna kill all of the enemy team, but unfortunately, Karamil, he shot through the smoke with the Ghost.
Yeah, shot through the smoke. I mean, especially for the Cypher, Snowflakes was basically love at first sight. You saw Vandal in the second half of the second round with the pistol round being in favor for the side of FPS. But yeah, talking about the shots, the Outlaw will be able to catch one of the most important players. But you still have Nier, who is still popping off with the Vandal. Non-stop kills. And just like that, you see the side of the Covenant losing control towards the B side entirely. Specs is just nearsighted with the paranoia. He's just panicking in the moment and he gets caught out in the process. 9-5 could now become a 10-5 here.
Oh, yep.
Spike planted.
2 players remaining. That was very aggressive peak coming in from Sonic towards mid. If he had stayed for a tad bit longer, things would have been shaping up to be really, really good in this particular round. But eventually, the full buy has been denied. Wasn't even full buy because 4 players, I could see them clearly going for those half shields and 1 for the Regent shields, Muffin Senpai, and opting out for the Outlaw to be the best gunslinger. But his days were numbered, man. Right after the first frag, he could not do much. And the opponent team right now, 120 FPS, they're looking sharp. They have the money, they have the economy. And the opponents, couple of marshals nonetheless. Headshots is the best bet for them to go ahead and win a battle. Else 1-on-1 ain't gonna do much.
Yeah, there's also mid stack from the side of the Covenant, so they want to contest mid as best as possible. But how can you deal with Karamil's exceptional accuracy and Smoker's pressure, which is so undefeated in these executes in the process? But Specs still has the opening though, 2 kills, but instantly gets denied from the KO Nier. 3v1 as Sonic, the lone wild west, the sheriff in hand, gets the weapon upgrade. But is it possible for him to clutch this 1v2?
He's heading back. The turret is going to give the information. He's just trying to mess up with the minds of the opponents. But yeah, there's a really good setup coming in. Greeny, he has placed his alarm bot towards the spawn side. If he tries to rotate from his spawn, he'll be notified. But the main area is the complete center of attention. Nanoswarms towards a market as well. There you go. The angles are always going to be contested. And look at Nier. He's holding the right angle. Knows that the opponent is going to come from the back itself. Back lines is going to be one of the spots. Pop flash just for the greedy work to go ahead and function properly. And there comes the entire push. Nier, he was enough.
Timing of pop flash, the timing of the pop flash, followed up with the dual peak. Even if one of the kills would end up working out well for Deadlock, the second one will get picked out in the process as well. But I have to say though, this execute though was just so well done. Even with a 4 stack towards mid, they knew that they will contest, so they just decided to play fire with fire, and eventually 120 FPS secured this. A tactical timeout will be requested from the side of the Covenant, and the viewers out there who are watching the stream, don't forget to check out the giveaways of 2x 1000 Valorant points. All you have to do is just comment Valorant in the Instagram socials of the story and make sure to have a chance and win 1000 Valorant points. It's quite a lot though. It's a really great giveaways, especially coming in from TEC.
Any story, guys.
Any story.
Mind you, any story. Even if they're promoting their reels, you can comment on it saying Valorant. It's okay. You can enroll yourself right inside that giveaway. 2x1000. And right now, I've been seeing a lot of products coming on night market as well.
Yeah.
Especially, I was thinking about getting a Glitch Pop Vandal, which I got just yesterday alongside. There was another offer, man. I can't believe I got so lucky with a Glitch Pop, especially. It's one of those iconic skins and
Yeah, it is.
the operator, man. But I did not choose to buy
It looks
it.
really good. Yeah, mine is the Prime Vandal because I miss my Prime day.
Wow. Just because of the pun, man. Wow, Baba Gusta. Tell me, how long did you wait for that? 4 days?
15 years.
For your prime? Okay. Alright, guys. This round, it's seeming a bit too chaotic. As the control is there towards A, and Sonic, he's the only man who thought that he could be very sneaky, checking his back lines, thinking he's the smart lad out there. But all of a sudden, the Covenant, they're facing the wrath of 120 FPS. They're crumbling down, last man standing. What can he do? He's jiggling here and there, deadly, but he could not prove his point.
And also the double sentinel from the double sentinel lineup from the side of the Covenant. It is not working out as intended.
You know what I was thinking? That one sentinel is going to completely fortify either of the sides, A or B.
Yeah.
Especially when it's Cypher, then head towards B.
Mhm.
Because you still have that boathouse for your perfect maneuvers. And on the other end, to see an aggressive deadlock as a second sentinel. But unfortunately, the aggressiveness is not there. Just is peeking like sitting ducks. And from there on, they're just losing bodies right at the beginning itself. Smoker activating the dash. Just waiting for the window of opportunity. Smoke screen right in front. Cloudburst again and again just to get that repositioning. Alongside shut the door on the opponents. And Caramel good for one. The floodgates have already opened up. Snowflex, he is retaliating. But there's already this one thing that is favoring the opponents. The backstab. Muffin Senpai.
No.
Not so quick with the trigger. But the discipline was there. And Caramel, he's playing things around now. Turning the tables as the entire squad, even though they're thinking to head towards site A, this can be a deadly thing for them. Two players are way too low on HP as the post plant commences. Caramel, he needs to be concealed.
Both of them very low on HP.
All
Highlighting
three
the
now.
chances that the Covenant could end up securing this 2v3. They can only rely on that trusty paranoia. The smoke wasn't proper in line of sight, but you still have Nier to take out the final frag and also a first map win in the lower brackets.
Yep.
120 FPS will secure their first map on Ascent. And I believe on map number 2, it'll be a do or die moment from the side of Covenant. And I have to
Yes.
say, I have to keep thinking, was having a double sentinel lineup a good idea for the Covenant or not? Because I think they had an idea.
On paper, yes. On paper, yes, it's a really good idea to go ahead and get double sentinel set up, especially in the map of Ascent. And I was hoping that they have already made this meta to, like, they have understood the drawbacks and the positive sides to it. But unfortunately, no, they did not. And that's a big mistake. One, way too aggressive towards mid, blocking all the line of sights. And especially once it comes to this vanilla map that it is, the Ascent, it's all about the mid control from the likes of the attackers. And once you deny that, you're just making the opponent's channel forward towards B main or A main. And let's relive all of these moments in the crucial highlights. Let's just dive right into it as we continue our conversation. Baba Gusta, I believe they could have played it a tad bit more better.
Yeah, I would say that especially when you go in for an agent change like that, you know, changing the composition of having a double sentinel instead of an initiators, I can clearly understand why. They had a plan in hand. They realized that yes, we can do X amount of moments, and we could have figured out a way to, you know, ensure that they could get more round wins on attack, and hopefully in the second half they could just steamroll their way on defense. The thing is, in order to make strategies like that, you need to ensure that your communication game is intact. If you miss some of the crucial communication moments, understanding exactly where the players' positionings are, and if you don't rotate at the right time, or just like I said, the executes not being able to hold as best as they'd expect, that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, the whole time you did get to see the impactful kills that Caramel delivered in the second half, followed up with the huge executes from the side of the duelists, who was just popping kills left, right, and center. And when you have those strong executes, how can you defend it in post-plant?
Caramel's role swap has not hindered his performance at all.
Nope.
Earlier to this, Greeny was not there in the picture, but today Greeny has come back, and from there on he chose to being the sentinel that he is for the entire squad. And alongside the swapsies, it just shows how versatile Caramel is in the midst of all of that. Dogser, as usual, he was perfect, being the Sova, getting the information. Hunter's Fury was coming in at the nick of the time and supporting the entire crew, which is amazing. Same thing goes for Smoker as well. He was having a rough time in the earlier few rounds. Later on, even he stepped up to the task of being the duelist. And that's what we all want to watch, right? A duelist doing that job. Else, it's the entire team figuring out that, okay, our duelist is not functioning well. How can we give our 200% in order to get more rounds? But that was not the case. The operator was coming in. It was a frag fest all across, even though the annihilation was the perfect thing, the kryptonite for Smoker. It unfortunately could not be seen in the second half. First half, couple of times. Second half, none.
Yep. No presence of annihilation was...
How can the Covenant perform under pressure now? There's already this one pressure that either of the teams are going to be exiting the tournament, and now there's another one that you need to win a map to move towards a decider.
Yeah, the deciders. I believe that if we get to see like a changes of agents with the risk that they applied, sure, attack rounds, we clearly saw how good of an execute that we did get to see from the Covenant. Like beautiful execute, beautiful defense. They only had to rely on the single use of paranoia as their only line of flashes, right? It's more of like a nearsightedness, and they didn't had any other flashes to go alongside with to help.
Well, there were some minor inconveniences, but finally we have come through all of that. And in the middle of the break, right, I was having a conversation with you, Baba Gusta, regarding the individual brilliance. The round where three players were completely lit. Caramel was the only healthy one. Okay? And that man, he all of a sudden had this bulb in his head. It just flickered at that very moment. And with that, he understood that let me just drop a smoke right in front. The dark cover on Haven. And it started going right down slowly. And the moment that happened, the enemies did not know it was a decoy for him to get at least one player. And then later on, the trades were already imminent. So I don't know, man, whether that was luck or that was individual brilliance. Altogether, the first map is done and dusted. Ascent, the pick of the opponent, the Covenant, could not seal the deal. But in the second one, where 120 FPS has already faced the defeat against Amigos, how well can this team function as a single unit is the question now, Baba Gusta.
Yeah. The upper bracket matchup itself, we did get to witness the upset that Team Amigos did deliver. And now 120 FPS, they are here for a vengeance. As we take a look at this, the scoreboard once again on map number 1, the MVP being near on the side of 120 FPS and on the side of the Covenant, Muffin Senpai, the total of 17 and 4 first blood kills. The performance that we did get to see from the Covenant is just a job well done. But yeah, it was none other than 120 FPS who did end up emerge victorious on map number 1 Ascent.
I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt that Greeny, for the first time, he's been spotted playing with this entire roster, even though they have been doing a lot of scrims behind the scenes and understanding how they can function together. He has gotten 7 frags, but here's the thing, right? Being a sentinel, it's all about you getting the information and denying the opponents from entering towards the site. That is one thing that Greeny did a lot. 7 kills, but 7 crucial kills. The Covenant on the other end, they need to start figuring things out. It was their own map pick. They could not function properly. And Near, thanks to his out of sight, out of mind ideology, he could get that perfect 4K in the pistol right off the bat. And from there on, the entire team was so confident that they could steamroll forward. So getting that MVP for Near is very well deserved. 26 kills. Mind you guys, 9 deaths and 10 assists.
10 assists.
He is engaged in over 36 battles.
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
And also, he's the MVP as well. Usually, it's either the Duelist or the Sentinels. But an initiator like Near with on the side of Team 120 FPS, the performance from KO is just really satisfying to look at. Let's not forget, you also have another initiator comes with the name of Doxer, in which his performance was also absolute. The Hunter's Fury, the aggressive attempts towards mid to catch 2 players off guard, it was just like very well executed. And the side of the on the side of Team 120 FPS, they're looking very powerful. But I'm also worried about the Covenant because map number 1 Ascent was the Covenant's map pick. They've lost it and now they are entering into unknown territory. The only thing is that on map number 2, they know it's Haven. They've practiced it, they've strategized it, but how well would they go up against 120 FPS in their own map pick?
Hate to burst the bubble though. They're going to start off in the attacking side and then later on head towards the defense in the second half.
I see.
And we all know the history is the biggest evidence out there. Like in the map of Haven, the attackers majoritarily win those games. So if that happens again, I believe that 120 FPS already has the edge by taking the map pick first off, and second, that they're confident in that map. They're going to bring those kind of big shots, agents that will always act like a typhoon and swarm the entire place away.
Yeah, like a cyclone. It's just like you'd never know which site where a typhoon enters. Like sometimes it would be on A, B, C, or
you never know.
Sometimes they just swirls across the midways of Haven. Like there's always the maximum shots that we get to witness. But also let's take a look at the agent select. I'm quite curious to know what kind of agents do we get to see. Will we see Neon again, especially on the upper brackets matchup? Maybe. Yes, it will. And from the side of the Covenant, double Duelist followed up with an ISO, which is also a very powerful agent when you head in towards the execute pushes, knowing that you can tank an op shot.
So the mid control will be easy. That's for sure going to be the case. alongside how well can Smoker function this time is a big question to be answered. 120 FPS, they're heading towards the defensive side as usual, and the Covenant, they are towards the attack. So the first half is going to be super vital for the Covenant to get majority of those rounds in order to at least put a really good full stop onto the opponents, onto 120 FPS. But judging by the way 120 FPS is already way too comfortable in this map, I am feeling that heat currently, even though there's this temperature which is currently cold in Bangalore.
Yeah, so cold.
But still, I'm feeling the heat. And it's, guys, it's not the jacket. No, it's not.
No, it's absolutely not the jacket. I'm pretty sure it's the agent select that we do get to witness here. I mean, in the end, it's speed versus shield. Speed being the neon, shield being the ISO. It's like, I believe we are bubbled with ISO shield at the moment. That's the main reason why we're feeling hot in the first place.
Wait, earlier to this, it was Cypher, now it is ISO all of a sudden. But Baba Gusta, loyalty, excuse me?
Friendship ended with Cypher. Now ISO is my best friend.
Oh, wow. All right, but will ISO be the best friend of the Covenant or not is yet to be deciphered. That's the biggest question for them to even function properly, right? They have the Omen, that's a really good controller alongside KJ as well. So, you know, altogether, I'm just stuck in this one certain spot, whether is it gonna function properly or is it gonna bite them right behind? Because it's do or die, guys. And in this do or die, we're gonna enter towards the map of Haven and witness all of that action go right by. First off, it's already do or die. Second off, the duelist composition from the likes of the Covenant. Baba Gusta, afraid, no, or excited?
I'm more likely afraid for the Covenant because this is the second time they're going in with those risky off-meta agents. First map didn't quite work out well, and if it happens again on the same thing on map number 2, I'm really much more worried about the Covenant. Their performance were really good. And also, another important point on the factoid that I missed. I'm sorry, I'll make sure to look into that again. But yeah, all in all, I have to say, the map Haven, really excited to see, and starting things off, we'll get to witness from the side of the Covenant, getting an early pick, this time taking out Karamil, while both of the players are very low on HP, both the Sova and the Jet. Now they're making for a push. Docs are prepped and ready, waiting for the recon to provide us the major informations. But Near has already been picked out. Information's been given from the recon. Doxer just clicks on the head with the help of those info. Meanwhile, Greeny, all the way from the back, he gets another. Spikes hasn't been planted just yet. And Doxer just swinging around. But he forgot about from the backside. Oh! And the protection from Greeny arrives just at the right time. And with it, we get to see FPS slowly fling back at this post plant.
Oh my god, both the players are lined, and there is Specs' clutch. Greedy. Got a bit greedy right there, and Specs, he's laughing. Oh my god, all right.
Yeah,
enthusiasm through the roof.
I was just speechless at the moment. I was like, you know what? FPS has got this in the bag. There's no problem. And Specs was like, you know what, Baba? Just get some glasses. You know, why don't you check your eyesight a little bit because it's our turn. We just won it 1-0, buddy.
Just because his name is Specs.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Baba Gusta. Nice. Pun intended, guys. Pun
intended, guys. It's just for fun.
Yeah, just performance. Getting the first pistol round. Now enabling the bonus as well. Specs looking very confident. I can see the smile from miles away. Karamil mid endeavors, but it's not going to work this time around. Snowflex. That is a sudden switcheroo from a sentinel to a duelist. Muffin Senpai on the other end. Look at him running around with the shield activated. Good shots all together. Control is already there. And this round is imminent. Sonic gets the third one as well. Last man standing. What can he do? Near. There is some swapsies of roles as well. And I don't know, 120 FPS? What were you thinking? You could have stuck back with the same old roles. Karamil was doing significantly good for the likes of being a controller in the previous round itself. But the moment he has switched his role towards being KJ, there is definitely some kind of a bump here, but hopefully that bump is not going to stay for a longer time. As the bonus kicks in, the buy round kicks in, there's half shields and vandals all across.
Yep, 2 rounds favoring for the side of the Covenant. Looking very good in this situation though. 2 duelists working their charms in the first half on attack. where it will be very powerful on those executes. You can clearly see that there is two players stacked in towards garage, waiting for them to make their push, knowing that the weaponry advantage is in their hands. They just need to go in for that proper peek and the hit. And here comes the shield. Information immediately denied as Muffin picks out both of them. Heavy casualties from the side of FPS as they're losing grasp of this first half.
Oh boy. Greeny right around the corner. There is one player right underneath and he gets him. That's a good shot altogether. Smoker doing the damage control. The man-cover advantage all of a sudden is there towards 120 FPS itself, but not for long. The moment itself, I just spoke about the man-cover advantage being a disadvantage. There comes another frag. Deadly. He's healthy right now. I'm talking about Smoker. Way too lit. 35 HP, but the crosshair placement is wrong, Deadly. You need to function right. He's heading towards site itself, and there comes the speed. Daredevil and Smoker right around the corner. Gets a frag and shuts down the third round, rolling in for the likes of the Covenant.
Just drifting across the sides of Haven as we get to witness FPS securing that win. Also, like, the outrun for the information not quite working out well, but Smoker just really great awareness, really good awareness of understanding that the Sova was trying to rotate all the way from the A side, heading for a plant. But then Smoker realizes that, wait a minute, he's running. I can, get the rotate. I can get the peak. And eventually they did. And Caramel, my goodness, what was that peak? He gets to pick out the initiators, but at the cost of him getting picked out in the process. Let's not forget, Contract Kill is present. Who will win the gunfight? Will it be the Covenant? Looks like it is. And that too is another initiator, Greeny, who goes down.
Smoker still sticking by his guns. Knows that the player might aggress towards B, but he's running away from the battle, skedaddling away. There's no amount of information that 120 FPS can get at this point of time. Snowflakes is definitely going to catch one player off guard alongside the other one, reaching towards A itself. It's a really good movement coming in from their end, but Smoker already anticipates all of these moves coming in from their end. Spam right across as Paranoia has hit Smoker's face. 45 HP is still running around. Sonic, is he going to win the battle? The second one as well. He does. Shuts down 120 FPS. Oh boy.
Oh man. For a brief moment, I just looked at Sonic and feel like I was going to punch the monitor, but no, he's not. He's just really excited. He's just pumped up, and he's just glad he just secured a round win on attack. 3-1, as the Covenant makes a really great statement.
It reminds me of that meme, right? You go to punch your monitor, you understand how expensive it is, you stop, you just withdraw from it, then you look at a keyboard, you're like about to punch it, you withdraw from it because it's very expensive. That's the same scene right here.
Yeah, and then afterwards you realized having a DDR5 Pro 5600 CL46 of the latest RAM that delivers 1.75x the faster speed could help you win major matches, especially on a game like Valorant. So make sure to check and take the link in the description down below. But let's just focus on the match though, as we get to see the overdrive from Smoker just singing away their opponents. And Deadly makes his response known by getting those 2 kills back to back.
Now they're not going to be flushing themselves out from this situation just yet. They knew there's far too many weapons to be picked right off. There comes the Hunter's Fury. Doxer is definitely going to get Sonic. Last man standing. Deadly way too low HP, and oh, he's just saved. He's saved. I just one small thing, but not the Bucky. Not the Bucky. Far range shotgun and it hits his shot. No. Man, he lives up to the name of his expectations and his name as well, man.
Yeah, the spread of the shotgun. More than enough. I mean, he was just low on 5. He was just on 5 HP. 1 pellet equals 5 damage. That is more than enough. 6 kills to Muffin, 5 kills
now
to
you can do the
Smoker.
maths. Thanks.
Yeah, finally I'm actually getting used to it now. It's 3-2. I mean, it's just given in the scoreboard itself. So basically you could say I'm cheating just a little bit. Concussions will be made though from Smoker. It just needs the alt-ops to ensure that the overdrive could be used for the second time. Meanwhile, once again, the pressure this time will be in A long. And Smoker is just making his best efforts to hold his ground, but somehow Specs figures out a way to get that headshot through the walls of Neon. This could spell dangers once again as their defensive site is breached. and they have no other choice but to commit to a post plant where FPS is at a major disadvantage. Here 3 to 4 as the Rolling Thunder and Hunter's Fury has been used. Doxer has been dealt around quite a lot of damage, but it will be him to win the fight nonetheless. It's a 3v3. Let's see what happens.
Muffin Senpai, quick on the trigger, shuts on Doxer, but there is a big fall coming through. Greeny is still sticking around, knows that the player might be there towards hell, but is the hell being unleashed upon Muffin? He is just so quick.
What do we learn by
Going ahead and fist pumping even the camera, saying that, you know what, I saved the day, it's alright, there you go, man. I fist pump too, but you're not gonna see that, unfortunately.
Yeah. I love the morale though from the side of the Covenant. Like, I really love the morale. You can clearly see that in the webcams as well. They're so excited that like every single round that they win, that morale is so important in the first half, especially the way how both Muffin and Snowflakes are just performing really good on the execute itself. Taking out the Neon, providing an open area towards A, breaking the economy of FPS. That's the motivation that they need to proceed more, and it is so powerful. Snowflakes' Blade Storm will secure an important headshot, taking out Caramel. He was so impactful in the first map, and right now in the second map, he's being absolutely destroyed from the duelists themselves.
This shows that the opponents have done the homework. Getting the lockdown in effect, checking all of those corners as well. Muffin Senpai with a shot in his hand, but it's Specs who gets the kill. What the entire team is currently looking for is a ray of hope near being that man. Ghost in hand, and soon he might be the person who is going to be ghosted upon. Has the paranoia, shrouded step as well, and if he saves it, it's going to be better, as he won't be investing it in the next following round. Currently just safeguarding his current location, his whereabouts. Specs is going to find his arch nemesis and shut him down. The Covenant getting the 5th on board, and the attack is looking good from their end. Finally, there is a timeout being taken right in from the likes of the defenders, especially Greeny. That's going to give Specs the time to snooze.
Yeah, some breathing moments, and yeah, just like you said, you did get to see Specs snoozing. Right there, he was just taking his moment of break for 50 seconds as of now. But yeah, all in all, this is 120 FPS's tactical timeout. Yet another factoid. Really great to see you. As a versatile player, Deadly adapts seamlessly between roles, enhancing the Covenant's strategic flexibility. Thank you, factoid.
But I believe Specs is doing a significant job in that.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
My man even took a nap for like 50 seconds or 1 minute.
He's just hibernating, you know?
Yeah, he's hibernating. And the entire team is currently. Because the timeout has been taken by 120 FPS. Understanding the entire push is going to be game changing. And I'm hoping that the buy round, which is going to be the next following round for the likes of 120, they're going to do something big. Half shields all across. They have cheaped out on few things, which is having a healthier shield. And on the other end, the attack has been really, really good for a really long time.
Yeah, with the timeout coming into an end, we can clearly see that the Covenant is still in the lead. Smoker, way out wide in the open. Mid, no one is currently being contested. Not at the windows. Finds the opportunity, but no, he misses his shots. Opportunity missed. And with Snowflakes getting the initial frag, Caramel, he's the only one who can only defend on Garage. They just lost an important duelist, and that is the Neon down for the count.
Ouch, that's a big boo-boo. But is it going to be a band-aid or Doxer getting multiple frags? For now, it's just one, but look at Neo repositioning himself with the enemy's backlines. And this can be a game changer. Nobody even knows about his whereabouts. The entire push comes in. Caramel, please shoot your shots. Unfortunately, good for just one. There are so many peaks coming through, but there's a major flank from the backside. The alarm bot has been disabled. Thanks to the frag onto KJ. The rotations are coming through. Smokes right across, and Snowflakes and Deadly. They think that the execution is gonna head from the spawn area itself. Doxer, last moment. He ignores the entire signs of the nature. Near last man standing, but Snowflakes gets the 4th and gets the round as well. The timeout did not work out, Baba Gusta. Even though the strategy was so plain and blatant, taking from the shadows, heading towards the enemy uncharted territories, towards the attacker's spawn, and from there on, having the endeavors towards C long, it looked really good on paper. But for that, the KJ had to die. She did.
Yeah.
But where's the speed? I thought he's gonna move quite quicker now that he knows that the KJ is dead.
Yeah, it was the opponent who applied the brakes. And that brake was just a halt and smoker. Oh, you forgot about the ISO shield. He was about to get a 2 kills, but Caramel, very good spot. He takes out 2 of the duelists. Now it's really important. Now there is a chance for FPS to secure it as Doxer comes in with the Hunter's Fury. He finds one. Deadly is still alive. He is proceeding with the plant. Now it's a 2v2. A very crucial moment for FPS to secure this post plant.
And we all know they have been doing it significantly good. The Covenant, the post plant is just sublime at this time around. You can look at them. Close-knit, honeycomb structure and specs. He's as confident as ever. Waiting around the corner, knows that the player is going to be peeking right about it. Doxer gets one deadly, he's already out of the picture. There comes the location reveal. And there is this entire shrouded step, which is just going to make his location seem impossible. Specs!
Fist bumps all the way, Specs. My god, what a clutch. And also, what amazing though. It actually reminded me
If
of a
120
meme.
FPS is looking at this right now, this point to the brain is just going to take them right off.
Yeah, basically Specs was like, you don't need a duelist when there isn't one. The meme, you know?
Oh.
Why need a duelist when you don't need one? He just removes it out.
This is not
a
my
clutch.
surprise face. This is my face that you remember that meme. Because
yeah.
it was so out of league.
Yeah, you had a surprise Pikachu face. It was really cute.
I'm glad you're not the Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, but talking about this round as of now, a little bit of a split bush being made from the side of the Covenant. The Sovas being eliminated quickly into the early rounds itself will bring a bit of a halt, but the aggressiveness will never stop towards B. But now with the abilities being used, they will sure likely change the locations itself. Not a lot of damage is being dealt around, but Snowflake somehow gets away with the opening. The second from the garage, control is theirs, which means that they could head into a C, but there is Near waiting for them to arrive right at their footsteps. But Specs is also present too. The entire lurk has been covered up. And Near, the only player left, he needs to find 4 angry players on the side of the Covenant and take them out one by one individually, and it's not going to happen. Muffin will be there to clear things off. The Covenant, 8-2 in the first half.
Oh, couple more rounds. Couple more rounds. Bashings all across, making 120 FPS economy way too weak. Well, they've been bashing them again and again. And the loss bonus at this point of time has already reached to an all-time high. Oh, hurts. But in all of that sting, will 120 FPS at least get a couple of rounds is the question. Because having a decent first half, especially being in the defensive side, you need to get 2 more rounds. They're short of it. Specs playing it yet again, smart and slow as the entire team. They want to get the control towards mid. Looks like a really good trap. But 120 FPS, especially Smoker, he has a Bucky to work around things with. Close-knit corners. If someone thinks about heading forward towards the sewage area, you're done.
Go, go, go!
Yeah. Overdrive is also active from the side of 120 FPS. They're trying to find an opening here. The Covenant, they're still praying for pick once again. It's all up to Muffin Senpai to get the initial frag, and unfortunately it gets denied this time with Caramel finally being able to win that gunfight after a long time, after long losses.
My God.
Deadly gets the other. There goes Smoker, and the entirety of the A side at the hands of the Covenant. As they are yet again trying to attempt for a post plant. Deadly, my goodness, 2 kills. Just with a simple pre-fire to secure those two frags.
Sonic. He's right around the block. Opponent just waiting. It's just a fake TP, but Near, that's all anticipated for. All in the count. Doxer, last man standing. They all know the whereabouts as well. Doxer, what can he do? Nothing as Sonic rips him apart. into shreds. The Covenant, that's an insane comeback on the opponent's pick. Everyone is happy with their performance. Everyone is happy about it. But I believe with all of this happiness, there's one thing that comes into the picture. The curse.
Oh boy.
The 9-3 curse. But again, it's situational.
I mean, they could end the first half on a 10-2, but yeah.
It was bad for Loud when they went against Fnatic.
Yeah, man, that was a blast from the past.
Yeah, can be possible this time as well, but in a different map altogether.
And Rolling Thunder, Hunter's Fury, and Locked On present for 120 FPS. They can just play it patiently. Muffin is down as you have this very strong hold on Garage, making it very difficult. Information denied. Push. Are they gonna commit for it?
Oh,
yes, they will. There goes Caramel. Nier has to fall back. Wall bang to infinity. And Snowflakes gets those two, opening up the Garage, giving them entryways and possibilities to push in on any side that they want. But they don't have information on Smoke. I mean, they have information on Smoke's whereabouts, but do they have information on the other two?
I don't think so. Greeny, he's been caught at this angle so many times. Snowflakes has been that one player who's been a menace to shut down Greeny and all of his aftershocks or Rolling Thunders, every single one of them. But the Rolling Thunder is in effect, but it's so close that Snowflakes, he could capitalize on the opponent one by one. Doxer, he has timed things to perfection, but what is that? Why would you do that? Check your corners, Doxer. Don't just go in rolling forward thinking that nobody can do anything to you.
Oh no, Smokey, you gotta be careful. Your location's been revealed. He tries to run away. Somehow survives. 8 HP. Please don't tell me that the 9-3 curse is a thing. No, it won't. 10-2. The Covenant. Really great, amazing from these teams right here. The second half is in effect. So is a major lead coming in on the hands of the Covenant. 10-2. As you can clearly see, the smiles just brighten up their day. 11 kills from Doxer, 14, 13, and 11 kills to Snowflake, Sonic, and Deadly.
Nair is clearly not doing any good being the controller. He was a really good initiator, not gonna lie, but once he swapped roles, he's been conceiving and conceiving. Just one kill is what he has donated to his team.
Yeah.
And he's not a good donor. Is he a universal recipient?
Well, I don't have that much information on blood types, but I have to say, I mean, looking at the performance, I could say that the amount of support that he delivers is just on point. Greeny, my god. What did he have for breakfast? Wallbang.
Now it's... Why would you have that for breakfast? Why? You could have told muesli or something, but okay.
Yeah.
Deadly. Currently, he has a powerful position. He needs to be on point with Smoker. He's very good when it comes to those elevated angles. Caramel, he has the control towards side A and it goes for a post plant. But there's one person lurking from the back where the information will be retrieved. That is the alarm bot doing its job. As Caramel is still alive, Sonic, backstab. Can he go ahead and get those initial point of contacts? He has the turret as well at his disposal as a sixth man. He can use it as a bait, but it's going to be Smoker continuously being the havoc right there. Sonic last man standing. He needs to be on point, but unfortunately it's going to be Smoker shutting him down and getting the pistols. This enables with an entire option of choosing your own pellet, your weapon for destruction, whether it be Guardian, or you can choose your set default weapons like classics or upgrade towards Vandals.
And some desperate picks being made here from 120 FPS. 2 Vandals, one of them with the Regent Shield with Smoker. You clearly need that, especially when you want to apply a lot of aggression. Those Regent Shields would definitely help. Slides very quickly, which means that the Neon should get 2 kills in order to get the cooldown of the slide once again. But looks like the Aftershock actually gets it. Muffin Senpai, he goes down very close range from Snowflakes. That shot could be the important moment. Here's the sound. but they chose to fall back.
Oh,
Snowflake
greedy.
he wants to commit, and that commitment ends up being a boon for the side of the Covenant.
Shot
It's
in
a 50
hand.
round. Caramel, he goes out from the shock dart, and with that, I believe we still have the info. Looks like the casters ourselves were a little bit flashbanged in the process, but not to forget, I believe it is none other than the side of the Covenant who will secure it 10-4.
FPS, getting the previous round. Well, it was a good run altogether. Lot of weapons dropped, but eventually they succumbed to the fate of dying in the previous round in the process.
Oh yeah, it's 10-4. I believe it's FPS who won it. Yeah.
The Covenant, now they have a full buy for themselves. Spec getting the first early frag itself onto Caramel, but Smoker, he's not gonna stay silent. He's rushing forward, not even waiting for his regen shield to pop back in. That's a big mistake in Deadly. He counters that so well. 4 against 3. And Site C is completely open for business. 120 FPS, the information has already been retrieved right there. Near, he's way too deep in the enemy's backlines, and Specs, he's just waiting for the right amount of opportunity that a player is gonna get a tad bit more antsy. From there on, shut him down. And if it is gonna be near, then the smokes, it won't come in later on towards the round, where the post plant is already in effect.
Yeah, currently the odds are currently in favor as the Paranoia will catch quite a lot of defenders, giving them some ample amount of time to stall time as best as possible, as Near is playing very close, way out in the open, very risky, but somehow he gets it. The third information so beautifully done from the Sova. He just converts it into the amazing kills and FPS. Their response is so supreme, 5-10. Oh boy.
And I have heard about 9-3 curse, but
Don't jinx it.
10-2,
Don't jinx it.
that's something new. But I would really commend Greeny for his efforts, man.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
He was a solo man who was speaking from Ceylon, and he held the enemy lines till the very end, giving Near the entire opportunity to take the duel against ISO. That's so important, and imagine Near is even believing on Greeny that much. That's the kind of trust that even we all require in ranked games. And that's what 120 FPS is getting currently. The opponent's economy is in shatters. It's in shambles. And that's one of the places where 120 FPS is going ahead and thinking about seizing yet another round. For now, completely slowing down the pace to head towards Site A.
Yeah. There's this one lurker from the backside providing information if one of them decides to make their push. 2 synchronized smokes back to back from both the
Lovely
opponents
shot.
and from the other side too. But the execute though from Smoker is just so amazing to
night.
look at. The fault line won't be able to find it, but the shot is from close range wood. Information from Sova, immediate trade from Smoker. And it's a 2v4. The aggressiveness will never stop from Smoker, as the speed is the key for FPS's success.
Oh, is it gonna be an ace? Specs, last man standing, somehow gets the Vandal and he's running away. He's running away from those fights, but ace is what Smoker gets. He was there till the very end, and look at him, his HP, it's intact. Full shield along his HP. Nothing went wrong. Good spams all across. Look at that, through the smoke. I mean, who even does that?
Smoker does.
And for a second, I was about to say, you don't say Smoker, don't. And you said Smoker. That was like a little voice screaming in my head, saying, Bavagusta, no, no. And then you did.
Yep. Just slip of the tongue. Can't help it. 6-10 FPS. The choo-choo train is in effect. And for the side of the Covenant, it is very difficult to try to, derail this train at the right moment. Because the aggressiveness is just on point, but Snowflakes finally puts a stop to it. 2 kills. 2 impactful kills as both the duelists and the initiators are down for the count. Near is so close towards the side, hoping to find an opening, and looks like he finds one, taking out the operator, but he forgot about ISO, who's so close. And even the KJ was like, wait a minute, I was watching towards Garage. Where did he appear out of nowhere? It's a 1v2. As the Covenant has the man-con advantage, so is the victory. 6-11.
That's right. I thought the Cinderella run is already over, but no, says the opponent teams.
I have money.
The Covenant still steamrolling it forward, having such a big gap, and later on the operator, which was not at all seen in the hands of 120 FPS to begin with towards the first half. And of course not, it's not going to be seen. They did not have the economy to go ahead and bring that 4700 credit of a weapon. Situation seems pretty dicey, but in that, there is a silver lining. Smoker good for only one as Deadly shuts him down. Constantly being paraded by the Hunter's Fury. He's gonna sadly depart, but the response is gonna be imminent. A couple of ultimates still available. One being the Blade Storm alongside From the Shadows. That can be used as an expensive recon to get the information about the whereabouts. Greeny, I hope he doesn't get greedy. There can be a player present there. Bunny Hop is the only opportunity, but there you go. The man-count advantage now dwindles down towards 120 FPS. Operator still in hand. Tries his level best, but Snowflakes, he goes in for the Blade Storm. The commitment is there. He wants to get more frag, but Near, he shuts him down, and the second one as well. There comes the seventh. And they have told the Covenant for now, there is always that asterisk saying terms and conditions applied. That's what you guys have to read. It's their map pick.
Yeah.
And we are here to win.
You know, there was a smoke and a nano swarm, and Smoker just decides, you know what? What is ability? When is ability? Why is ability? He just pushes in, gets the kill, immediate shutdown of the Sentinel, which could have been so powerful on those post-plant situations, especially with the turrets and the alarm bots, which could have given so much information. And this time the Covenant are going in for the timeout.
Oh.
A really necessary timeout, because you can clearly see the sides of 120 FPS just blazing through glory. The speed is just, it's just too much. It's just so fast.
It's as fast as our SSDs, man.
Yeah, with a blazing fast speed up to 1050 megabytes per second. Crucial X9 Pro portable SSDs are your really great storage that you could, have it in anywhere. You can have anywhere. Good storage and a really blazing fast speed.
Shorties, liking the options.
The Covenant still has the morale boost, right? They still have the morale boost. The first half, they were looking pretty confident. And right now, hopefully, with this timeout being made, the Covenant would be even more stronger than ever.
Revealing area.
Oh,
Recons for info. As we clearly get to see the side of Team 120 FPS slowly making their way towards the side.
slow and steady. They know there's a lot at stake. 120 FPS. They're treading every single situation cautiously, but Karaman in the midst of all of that, outlaw and outshines with the first frag. Doctor right around the corner knows that there are a couple of players waiting. There comes Aftershock, and with that, the flush. Oh my god, Deadly. That was not the right option to choose to stick around towards that corner. The moment he saw Muffin Senpai run away, he should have chosen that. Not Muffin Senpai, sorry, Snowflakes run away. He should have ran across together. Specs, he's also unfortunately out for the picture. Smoker, currently all of that noise, all of those shenanigans. And look at that. Snowflakes in the midst of all of that. Let me take my knife, head forward, get more information. Oh no, there's an opponent waiting right there. Sonic can get a good frag onto Caramel, and he has shut down the arch nemesis.
30 seconds.
But I believe it's too late.
It is. 8-11. Unfortunately, the timeout didn't quite go well in their favor, and I can understand that. It was an eco round. They only had shorties and classics, so they have yet another chance to, head in for those fights. And this round will be a crucial moment for the side of Team 120 FPS, whether if they could handle out the aggression, or would we see the side of the Covenant put a full stop to it and maybe head in towards the third map, which could be the deciders. Split.
Yeah, it can split both ways. For sure.
Oh
Getting
boy.
the early information.
No.
Overdrive in hand and is rushing forward, gushing to get that first frag. No. And where is Deadly looking? What is he looking at? He did get the omen, but unfortunately has lost the entire side control.
Almost down.
Specs, he's there towards Haven, but it's not safe at all. Muffin Senpai, good for another one. Things are finally shaping up to be better, but Doxer, he's right there around that corner to get those frags and leave the entire team wondering, how come? All of a sudden, all of our players towards side A, they got flushed out. What just happened? This is the time where Muffin Senpai is having that chat, and the shots were really good.
I'm not gonna lie, I have to be, honest with you. Snowflex missed his first shot. Just because of that. A slide from Neon, a fault line for concussion, and the overdrive catching up two players. Two concussed players. As 120 FPS's lead starts to grow all the way up to 9 to 11. Man, that was really tough to look at though. That one shot. You know how powerful the operator is, and if you miss that one shot, you clearly get to see the consequences, what happens at the next of it.
The consequences are always there.
This is business.
Especially when it comes to those economies, man. If it is low, then you cannot get good weaponry. If you have good weaponry, you cannot get good shields. And that's the kind of dilemma that TC is currently withstanding. Peeks around the corner. Specs playing aggressive. Shadows. Has the expensive recon as well from the shadows. Can do a lot of things in this particular round. It's just that they need the opening. The first point of contact.
Yeah, he's just gonna fall back. Good decision though from Specs. Needs to make sure that the early pick shouldn't go in their end, and looks like it is definitely favoring. And let's not forget, this is the second time I'm looking at Karamil having an outlaw in hand. He gets away with one. Sova is like, wait a minute, isn't this a full buy round? Aren't all of them were supposed to have vandals? Why is Karamil have an outlaw and he ends up getting a kill?
It is surprising fact, the opponents have half shields.
There.
Yeah.
And one shot to the body is all that Karamil needs. He's playing all of this round economically. Specs for now, good flash all across. Knows that the player might swing, but he's playing inside the smoke. Default area, he needs to spot a player or two, but the man is planting Greeny. He's going to be taken down. Specs, he has taken second one as well, but Karamil, he's doing the damage control. The spike needs to be planted, but all of a sudden, the defenders have already reached towards the site. They're stalling time. They know time is their best friend. It's their ally. And with that, 120 FPS, their hopes have been crumbled down into bits and pieces for this particular round.
Just chef's kiss, Specs. Chef's kiss. Just the patience on this man right here. Smokes it away, plays near the smokes, just waits around. And even Smoker was like, you know what? I think maybe it's all the way from the back. Concussion was there, even with the info. Aftershock was present. And the next thing that they forgot to check was the insides of the smoke. Where Specs was just, he ends up with 3 Guardian kills in close range.
That's the game changer moment. Now, specifically talking about this round,
Deploying drone.
well, the Owl Drone is doing all the talking. From both the ends, there's an alarm bot which has successfully been ignored, and Smoker, he was vulnerable, head forward, and with that, he gets the horn. Karamil, little does he know, there's a player still peeking around that corner. He gets him. Sonic, he cannot become the hedgehog for this particular round now.
Yeah, the lockdown will definitely flush the players all the way out from the backside as Specs aggressive measures as it works out. It's a 3v2 situation as the ISO shield will save not only just the life but also securing the kill. and Snowflex, both the duelists, still alive and kicking, as they will secure 2 back-to-back kills. And with that, we will witness the Covenant secure map number 2 Haven, and deciders will be unlocked. Split will be the final deciding factor to determine who will be proceeding to the next phase of lower brackets, and which will be that team which unfortunately gets eliminated out of this tournament. But I have to say, the Covenant, impressive performance from these men right there, as the morale boost is still in their hands.
Well, true, very well executed rounds as well, especially in the first half itself towards the attack side, and then later on the operator coming in, did a lot of talking, did a lot of heavy lifting, and Muffin Senpai, my god, the ISO, it was so good that I just can feel at this point that the opponents were fumbling. They were not able to do anything regarding the ISO shield alongside, well, Snowflex. Man, he has swapped his roles from a sentinel to a duelist, and look at him performing wonders.
Yeah, usually when it comes to role changes, it's very difficult for most of the players to, adapt to a certain role. For a duelist, you also, like, the thing about duelist is that you needs to be on point, right? Let's take a look at the crucial moments as well, and talk about a few more while we continue this conversation. The thing about duelists is that they always need to be on presence. They always have to make those impactful kills. Meanwhile, as we talk about the duelists and the controllers, they're always there to provide backups. So being able to change the role is actually a difficult way, and being able to see Snowflex deliver that impactful performance even while he's playing as the sentinel or as the duelist, he did a phenomenal job.
I believe 120 FPS is getting that PTSD moment, man. Yesterday itself, they lost against Amigos Esports, and now they've lost against the Covenant as well in their own map pick. But surprisingly, they did well in the opponent's map pick, which was Ascent. Now the decider. It all trickled down to that particular map. How well can the team coordinate and play together? That's the biggest question. Caramel, there were a couple of opportunities presented at his doorstep that, first off, towards the garage area, the link area, where a couple of players were heading towards Site C, and he could only get one player out of all of that. So that's the part where I saw, for the first time, Caramel crumble with all of that insight right in front of him. Like a couple of players swarming by, and he could not do anything.
Yeah, and that was the thing, right? Especially Caramel not being able to successfully defend Garage in the first half, where you can see that there was a constant pressure, a barrage of executes that had happened from the side of the Covenant was just so on point. The double duelist, the execute was just so really good. You had the Jet holding the backside, you had the ISO with the tank that can, tank at least a shot or two, providing him the necessary advantage he requires for the push. And also this plays though from Smoka, a risky decision, but it did end up providing an important, impactful flag that he needed. There was some 2 rounds where we did get to witness Caramel have those 2 outlaws. Eventually did working out in most of those situations, but especially in the last round, this impactful moment that we get to witness from the Omen was just a game changer moment.
Indeed, indeed. Playing around the smoke itself, Specs, yes, it was a really good maneuver. Deadly, in fact, he knew the risks were against him. 4 players rushing down towards Site C, and all of a sudden, he's the one seizing the control. And Greeny, the moment he got the information that there's 1 player inside the smoke and is still there, it was too late. Specs got 2 players right off the bat, and right after post that, there was just nothing that the team could do. Talking about those scorecards and those individual performance, let's just have a look at it, because every single one of them needs to be dragged back in to that spotlight.
13-9. The Covenant proceeding to map number 3. As we take a look at the scoreboard as well, 20 kills to Smoka and 22 kills from Snowflex. Both of them, like, even equalize when it comes to first frags as well, 5 kills.
True that. And yes, there's even Omen. His performance also was really good. Specs alongside Near as well. Near, again, like I mentioned, the moment he switched his role from being a initiator to the controller, things have not been right for the entire crew. So I want to see how well can Near adapt to all of these adjustments. Caramel did he did a fine job in this particular map, especially in Haven. Usually he does the heavy lifting, he goes in for those lurk gameplays, gets those frags and that early advantage for the entire squad. But this time we could not see that. It was Smoker taking the initiatives, Doxer as well chiming into the picture. And talking about the Covenant, well, every single one of them played to perfection. Muffin Senpai, Deadly, Snowflex, Specs alongside Sonic as well. Even though Sonic was being shut down again and again, he still did his level best, man.
Yeah, and also let's take a look at the MVP of this matchup as well. I'm really hoping it's Specs because he did really good, but also like huge kudos to Snowflex as well. The plays from the Jet, the distractions, giving them equal opportunities for the ISO to provide kills as well. It's just so well done. 32% headshot, 3.6k damage, 5 first kills, 22 kills in total, and 2 assists.
Oh, Diablo.
Yeah.
Damage of 3,666.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Now we all know what they were messing against.
Yeah. And I believe
Snowflex.
on third map on Split, I believe we might see the exact performance from Snowflex as well. The devil
Split.
himself. How can you deal with the devil?
I would usually sign the contract.
Oh boy.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Not a good
I'm
idea.
not gonna be messing with Lucifer. No.
Don't. Usually, basically having a deal with the devil always has its own major consequences, though.
I know. I believe that's giving my life away, but okay. In any which case, guys, we're gonna take a small little break. We're gonna see you on the other side with the third map.
Hello guys, this is Igamsai from Master.tg, and with me I have a familiar face, of course, Greeny from 120 FPS. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great.
Okay, you have been a consistent the playoffs team for the past 2 seasons, and now
Yeah.
you're here again for the playoffs. What changes have you made?
First of all, yeah, like we've been working towards different rosters. Like we had a different roster before these 2 seasons, and we did qualify from them, but we didn't get the the performance we wanted from those rosters. So we have changed our roster completely and introduced new talents and new players, including Doxer, Near, Elite, Caramel, and Smoka. And we're thinking this roster can do stuff on a good level as well.
Okay, how is the team synergy going on right now, considering it's a new team for the new season?
It's going good right now. It's what I think there's a phase called honeymoon phase. Right now they're all getting together. They're all having talks and stuff like that. And that's what I want in a team. And I want this team to work very well because the org is putting in so much investment now. So. As a coach or as a team like manager, I'm not the manager, but yeah, as what I see from the org's perspective, they're putting in the work and we want them to win, obviously.
Okay.
And they're doing good.
That's great. Now that you mentioned you're somewhat of a coach for the team, how do
Yeah.
you divide the roles within your team?
So currently I've took players with mostly flex pools. Like every player in the team right now has a flex pool, so they can change agents and they have more versatility. So I don't have to stick with one player playing duelist all the time. I can change my duelist to sentinel and I can change my sentinel player to duelist. But that's not how it actually works. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain, that they're all flex agents, so they can play different agents, and they have a big map agent pool. So on different maps we can explore different agents and different comps.
Okay, so contemporary to that, how does the team maintain effective communication and teamwork, especially during high-pressure situations?
So what happened is we have divided something called calling. So what happened is our main shot caller video IGL we call it is Doxer right now, and Doxer is gonna primary IGL, and we will have a guy Near who's gonna do mid-round calling, and whenever there will be a shot calling, that we'll play around the plan of Doxer, and between the plan of Doxer, what's gonna happen, how it's gonna execute it, and a mid-round how are we gonna change our plan is up to Near. So I think they both have the handle for effective communication right now in the team.
How have you prepared for this specific tournament, and what are your expectations for the current roster right now in the playoffs?
Currently we are still in the prep phase because it's just a new team. It just made like 1 week ago, stuff like that. We are still in the prep phase and we are still preparing for different maps and different comps and different teams. There's a lot new teams coming into this TEC because it's open, I think, all over SA, and there's teams from Pakistan, there's teams from Bangladesh as well. So what we are trying to see what comps they play and stuff like that. And I think we can easily get top 3 in this. I think we could win it for sure. I can back the team to winning it, but top 3 is confirmed, I think.
That's really great. So Guys, this was the Greenie for 120 FPS. It's a real pleasure to have you around again, and all the best. I hope you win because you've been a familiar face for all 3 seasons, and I would really like to see you again. So guys, this was Greenie for 120 FPS. I'll sign out. Bye bye. Hello guys, this is Ekam Sai from Gossip.gg. With me I have Specs from The Covenant. How are you feeling right now?
Hello. I'm feeling great actually. To be in the invite slot,
Okay.
it feels amazing.
That's really great. We are glad to have you around. So we'll start the questions. What do you believe contributes to the strong chemistry and camaraderie within your team?
The strong chemistry builds up when we are like playing together. So when the teams actually teammates, so when they're like playing together, they've developed chemistry. It doesn't come like dynamically, it comes naturally. So if your playstyle matches with your fellow teammates, and if an IGL can piece the players together, that's how you can dynamically change and then adapt.
Okay, that's great. So contemporary to that first question, I'm gonna ask, how do you support the individual growth and development of your team members?
So as a captain, I have a responsibility of checking up on my teammates, learning their point of view, understanding what they want to do, and then making plans according to that.
Okay.
Our play styles are always dynamic. We are basically one of the team that works solely on. We develop plans according to the opponent's utilities, our utilities, and so on.
Okay, that's great. So the next question I'm gonna ask is, what strategies or tactics do you employ to excel on specific maps, such as Haven or Ascent or any map that works in your favor?
Okay, so in that case, what we do is we figure out what our strong point is. So let's say if our Sentinel is more strong on a certain map, we'll play it more Sentinel focused. And let's say if we are playing a map like Haven, where 2 smokes can be a differentiator, we can work on that too.
Yeah.
So that's how we change up our lineups, and it also varies on the meta because Valorant keeps changing every now and then.
That makes sense. The next question I'm gonna ask is, how did you get started playing Valorant, and what drew you to the competitive scene?
Before Valorant, I used to be a Counter-Strike player, but not a professional player, but I used to participate in like casual tournaments and stuff, and then I started to see that Riot Games came up with Valorant, and I just know how big the League of Legends scene is, so I knew that Valorant is going to be something big in the FPS genre.
Yeah.
So because of that, I started to get started from the beta. I started to grind. I got Diamond 1 as my first rank.
Okay.
That's the highest one you could get at that point.
Oh yeah.
So then I started to grind. I made teammates, understood the chemistries change, and now I'm here.
How have you prepared for this specific tournament, and what are your expectations?
Our expectations are always #1 slot.
Okay.
We are always aiming for the #1 position. For that, we are working hard. We are developing our team chemistry more stronger. We are developing smoother comms so that we can cooperate properly. Also, we are changing up our strategies based on map changes and agent changes. That's what is basically driving us confident to get to the next stage.
So guys, this was Specs from the Covenant. All the best to you for the matches, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you so much for the interview, Harry, as we are back once again here at the caster's desk as we start to talk about the lower brackets matchup for Deciders. Map number 3 split for the side of the Covenant. Specs, once again, amazing performance as the Omen, as his one simple round basically changed the entirety of the matchup as well, especially in the second half. Breaking the momentum of 120 FPS, they are here to claim yet another round win, or should I say a map win on map split. Will it happen? Will it not? I have to say, Azura, the performance from both these teams are just amazing in the lower brackets. What are your predictions on map number 3?
It's tooth and nail, so the prediction can swing either ways.
That's it?
Yeah, either ways.
Wow.
That's it.
It's just
Man of
it's
few
just
words.
one sentence only, a man of few words. But yeah, all in all, split itself, it's a map that could crucially determine whether if the side of the Covenant would have a spot or would we get to see Team 120 FPS bow out of the competition. So all in all, I have to say that from the side of the Covenant, they got their momentum back on map number 2. Even though it was a map being picked by 120 FPS, the deciders will be the final factor to determine who will proceed and who will get eliminated.
Nervousness is what I'm gonna say. And finally, there's this one point, right? Final map. How can you go ahead and achieve that? 120 FPS for now, they've been doing really good. Yes, so far so good. The first map was in the same old-fashioned way. One team reaching towards the double digits, 30, and the other one reaching towards single digits itself. Second time also is the same thing, 13-9. It was a good fight, but eventually it had to fade away. So now comes the golden hour question. If the entire performance, if it is hindering their entire psychology, then I think that the third map won't go for the likes of 120 FPS. But if it is going to be the Covenant winning it, then Covenant, man, imagine a team has just recently come to a tournament, to the Showdown series specifically, and all of a sudden they're just making every single one of them look like, wait, you guys have been formed since first of 6 seasons? We have come recently and we're doing much better.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the agent select as well on map number 3 split, and I have to agree with Auzora here, folks. Talk about their adventures all the way from the upper brackets, not being able to, secure the important factor up against the side of Team 10-7. They are fighting their way all the way back towards lower brackets, winning the first stage, second stage, and they're almost on their way to ensure the lower bracket final. So taking a look at the agents once again, Sky will be picked up as the initiators, double initiators combo from the side of 120 FPS. And on the side of the Covenant, it's a double controller combo on the side of map split. So it's even Stevens, anything goes. It's basically a best of 3 that ends up being a best of 1 in this deciders.
Well, I'm liking the odds for the likes of 120 FPS, getting that early information. Dual initiators always helps the raise, especially the duelist, to get the amount of information and then later on go for the follow-up as well. Especially whenever we see Breach, right, we call him the enabler in this map specifically. So hoping to go ahead and enable the duelist is going to be the primary aspect. And talking about the other end, dual controller is not bad option at all. Having the Viper's wall up towards side B, and it can create a deviation that you never know that the players will come through, shift walking, and all of a sudden they'll be inside the site. But all of those speculations aside, guys, we're all set for map number 3, and let's just dive right into the action and understand what kind of situations are we all tackling with.
Yep, deciders is on. Best of 1. Covenant securing map 2. 120 FPS securing map 1. All eyes are set to the spot on the lower brackets finals. And once again, Factoid, it's really great to see you. Splits verticality, narrow checkpoints, and defender-friendly design demand precise coordination, strategic utility usage, and early mid control for attackers to succeed. And that's where Viper comes into play. You have those walls that can block off both the sides as well as the mid, providing an opportunity for the defenders to hold their ground and making much more difficult for the attackers that could eventually waste a lot of time in the process. But let's see how well it would work out in the pistol rounds as the round commences.
120 FPS in the attacking side, and Doxer, he has taken the controllers. Okay, there's for sure something going on with the likes of 120 FPS, that they are rotating things frequently. Finally, I can see Caramel, who is taking that Cypher, and he is towards garage itself, trying to lure the opponent Cypher out of his nest and then later on sting at him. Deadly towards mid, he's still waiting, but Specs, he has managed to get that one frag, which was very vital. Snowflakes peeks around the corner and gets Caramel as well. Situation looks very dicey as 120 FPS, they're facing the wrath of the opponents.
Yeah, 2 players down for FPS as they need to rely on a 3v4 situation. A man-count disadvantage. As you can clearly see, the Covenant's performance looking very strong. And a very strong start for the side of the Covenant. Deciders, round number 1 map split, pistol round is theirs. Economy is booming. So is the fist bumps from Deadly. A virtual fist bump that will be delivered from the rest of the 4 players who will be, playing the matchup. So A good win though from the side of TC.
The Covenant getting the first round, but there's a post plant which was commenced in the previous one, so giving the bonus for both the corners. One looking fairly very healthy and the other one with Stingers, Spectres alongside a Bucky. So Smoker, I'm hoping those double satchels are going to provide the value that you need, because you're already trickled down to 0 credits for this particular round alongside Near. Not finding any kind of success. Right after the first frag, it was a dominoes effect for the likes of 120 FPS. Now, with already having that baggage of losing Haven, seem pretty underconfident. How well can they go ahead and execute in this round is the question now. Senpai, close range, good spams all together. HP way too low. Smoker, he has a reach and shield. Thanks to that, he's going to get that 25 HP back. But Deadly, at the nick of the time, he runs away, fades, and now he's just making all the enemies look like peanuts. But Near, good trade, no flex. He's still inside the site, but he is so distracted.
Informations will be given that two Specs unable to secure this fight. Ends up in a 1v2 this time. It's all up to Sonic, the Sheriff in hand, and he will be denied as Doxer gets the third kill and also being able to break their economy in the second round as well. Let's not forget, the economy advantage were in the hands of the Covenant, and FPS just stole it away.
Yet again, proving that they are the lethal one out there in this map. Snowflakes, well, the round 1 action was really good, but right after that, I believe they got a bit more overconfident, thinking that the opponents cannot squeeze the next following round. But thanks to the plant that Snowflakes enabled the opponents to do, that just bit right around.
Yeah. Let's not forget, every time when you plant the spike, you get 300 creds, which is really vital. Even if you lose or win the first round, economy will be very important, and I believe that would definitely help them in the third round as well. Okay, looks like it is not. Sonic actually wins the fight up against the Vandal, and that too with a wall bang. He's going to give the Sheriff back to Deadly, knowing that his HP is very low and Sky can only provide healings to his teammate, not to self. So he needs to be careful on that.
Early disadvantage, losing the controller. That's a massive mistake, and Caramel for now, he does not know how many players are already lingering right across. Frenzy in hand, Specs good for yet another one, and look at that nade coming forward. Smoker, good flash coming in from the teammate, but they all are perishing away to the shenanigans of the Covenant. And there's a Thrifty coming through. This team is looking as confident as ever.
I'm just remembering the journey though from the side of the Covenant. Like, their performance on 10-7, even though the skills were outmatched, they still didn't give up. They still gave a fight, a really valiant fight. And now you can clearly see that in this matchup too, lower brackets, they're going through hell and back. And this deciders, you can clearly see that the side of the Covenant, their performance has been so exceptional. The same can be said to FPS, but for Caramel, he's the one facing a little bit of jitters. He's failing a lot of fights up against the Sentinel.
Spike left towards the spawn. They're all going ahead and taking that battle head on in order to get those weapons. Deadly still in the site, and he wants to seize back the control that the Sky just lost. Smoker, right around the block. He has the Hero Vandal. He needs to make all of his shots count. Greeny has the information. Boombot in hand is going to help a lot. There comes a Razor line. Smoker still hesitating as there's a paint shell blocking his road, his path to get yet another frag. Senpai, he's playing it very smart, but now when the entire strategic maneuver is heading towards the site of A, even though the tripwires were placed at the right spot, it's not going to help out. But Snowflakes, his aim is helping. He has gotten a couple of kills, and Smoker, all of a sudden, the amount of control that this team was about to seize, it's gone. There is from the shadows, Doxer, he needs to play to perfection, and he does that as well. Thrifty, yet again, this is back and forth. It's not helping either of the sides. It's neither making the economy not breaking it.
It's perfectly balanced. 2-2. Man oh man, the plays that we witnessed from Deadly, oh boy. Not having enough information that like the spike was dropped. I can clearly understand that. He was just trying to gain information whether if the spike was picked up or not. And eventually he did get the answer for it. Doxer from the shadows is prepped and ready. When it comes to the economy, things are not looking good from the side of the Covenant. Phantoms in hand, and so is the Spectres from Deadly. The jump pick will be made. An entire close-ups will be made towards A as the wall has been present. So are the traps from the Sentinel. So you can clearly see that the power is favoring on towards A as a really great flex from Specs, as a headshot will be delivered from the Phantom.
Scout destroyed.
Rushing forward. 120 FPS, already losing one player. And the mid control is not going to be that easy. If you had raised, then yes, it's going to be easy. Double satchel, reach towards ropes, and that's pretty much it. But Karamal, in the midst of all of that, Specs, he has taken him right off. Having the side control, but what's the point? You don't even have the spike. You cannot go ahead and initiate the post plant, but he can create a lot of deviation. All of those players heading towards the side, and Doxter, he's the lone man surviving till the very end, trying to block every kind of resistance, but the resistance is not gonna be favoring him. As 120 FPS, they lose yet another round. 3-2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, 3-2 as the Covenant once again secures the round. Yes. I do have to give kudos for the breach. The fault line making it easier for Doxer to secure the kill from Heavens. But the man count was too much. This will definitely force the side of the side of 120 FPS to once again come back to an eco round. Not a good way, not a good position to be in as well. The more rounds they end up on saving weapons, the higher the chances where we get to witness the Covenant secure even much more rounds in the first half. And right now it's going back to back. We've seen a thrifty round win. There's highly clear chances that FPS could secure it once more.
Showstopper, to get the control, they're heavily relying on this ultimate itself. Classic in hand, 4-man squad. The boys are here. They're gonna stare down the enemies to their death. But Specs, quick on the triggers, shuts down Smoker. Even though he was thinking about getting the control towards Heaven, he won't get that.
Planted.
Snakebite just to delay the push, but look at the paranoia coming in. It's a good follow-up, and Doxer is good for one.
3v4 as the Covenant are slowly losing grasp of this site. The time is ticking. The paranoia will be met, blocking up some certain lines of sight as Snowflakes arrives with 2. They won't get it.
Wow.
And just like I expected, a thrifty round coming in from FPS.
A lot of weapons.
More weapons. And like you said, it's going back and forth. It's not just huge leads in the first half. No, it's one round for FPS, one round for TC. And look at the, Sonic just realizing that, wait a minute, the walls just dropped down. All 5 of them are just looking right at the crosshairs of the sky. And then he said, well, my time has come. Goes away.
They're not happy anymore. Serious faces all across. As 120 FPS, they're currently having a laugh with all of the weaponries that they have. Smoker, yes, that's going to be a really good initiative. Shuts on Sonic, so no more guiding lights to annoy things with. Frenzy yet again, but that control towards the entire rope area has been seized. Smoker good for 3. This can be his potential second ace. The first one was in Haven itself. And now moving forward, channeling the cheese, Snowflakes. He's way too low on HP. Doxer, the paranoia comes through, and look at the guiding light. It's following through the enemies one by one. Shambles is what the entire squad of the Covenant is in.
And Smoker's push was really good, and also Greeny, man, great support from this guy. The fault line just working to perfection, and Smoker will also get his 4th as well. FPS currently the ones on the lead, 4-3, as the neural theft is available for Caramel. It really comes down to the information game. And look at the fault line. Look at the execute, the satchel charges, and really an unfortunate positioning for Muffin Senpai. Only having a Bucky in hand and his location immediately given away once he starts shooting the first shot.
Greeny is an exceptional support player. Exceptional. He's only sitting on 1 kill. But thanks to him, Smoker is sitting on double digits.
Yeah, he is.
That's the power of utility. And Breach as well at the same time. Muffin Senpai slowly rotating right off, thinking it might be an execution towards mid. But there's only one player near. Going ahead, Seeker's available. And he has that cauliflower in his hand. It's gonna launch it right at the opponent. And near, he gets the first frag onto Muffin Senpai. Down goes the entire hope of holding the mid grounds. Cypher is very close, and Snowflex in the middle of all of that, he gets one frag, but counter is equally good. Smoker, this is the second time that this man is shining at Heavens itself. What is he? The Angel?
Oh, he's a speed demon. Remember the stats?
He shows speed. Yep.
Speed is the game, but right now it's not just Neon with delivering speed. It's verticality that's currently gaining the advantage, and also Near making to show towards the audience that hydration is also important. So make sure to get yourself hydrated, and also don't forget about the giveaways, folks. 2x
water.
1,000 Valorant points. All you have to do is head in towards the socials, especially Instagram of the Esports Club, and comment Valorant in any of the stories to get yourself participated in the giveaways. In 23rd, especially at the grand finals, we'll be able to declare the winner as well in the Instagram stories. So make sure to get yourself registered. Don't forget to use the comment Valorant. And also, factoid, Smoker is a dynamic duelist who excels at creating space with aggressive plays, landing crucial entry frags, and opening up sights for the team.
Crucial executions.
Yep.
Crucial SSDs and RAMs. Everything is so crucial.
Oh, we have another factoid though.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Back to back?
Back to back. No.
It's for next time, guys.
Yeah,
there
just
it is. We just spoke about both the products from Crucial, and thank you, producer. Thank you so much. Letting the audience know that Crucial's latest DDR5 has a powerful impact over your PC upgrades, so might as well go ahead and do it. Muffin Senpai, this time for sure, he has upgraded himself to head forward. But look at him getting bombarded with all the utilities. The Bucky is unfortunately not gonna be seen anywhere close to the enemy lines. Specs, serious faces all across, giving in the information that it can be a potential push coming from A. But look at the lurk gameplay. Caramel is way too deep. If he goes from the back lines and spots Specs, it's going to be a big blunder. And he's checking all of those right corners. Specs! Okay, it's going to be a knife. Oh no. Alright, Caramel. I see what he did there.
No rest. Oh! And Snowflex just comes back with the Sheriff too. Neural Theft's active, so is the problem. The Covenant, they still have a chance. The second wish has been given but denied immediately from Greeny. If he doesn't have support, he will definitely secure that impactful frags. Solopasonic, knives out, Near, very close.
It's like his name, man.
Yeah.
It's like his name. He's never far. He's always near.
Yeah. Near towards enemy's territory. Just hiding in the shadows. Waiting for the perfect moment to pop out and remove. And also, let's not forget, I mean, looking at the webcam itself, he's a serious face with a hoodie on. He's basically Omen, playing as the sky.
Anonymous.
Yeah.
Oh. Arrivals, departure. Yes, these are the screen areas in this map. A lot of information right there. On time. Cancel. Who got cancelled? Excuse me.
Oh, looks like we lost that.
Lost sight.
Talking about this round though, once again, it's a split push this time. No presence towards mid, just distractions around, see the info, and once they get it, they would either rotate back or arrive. Snowflex, information's been given towards Heaven. He knows that the Caramel is making his way towards the other place, but it's been looked around, so he won't be able to, commit to it. But I believe that there is another mid fight happening. No, it's not. It's just like mid is entirely empty though, and on split. Imagine that.
Caramel is just playing the perfect role of a lurker. Look at that undivided attention on him. 3 players still stuck around, 2 towards A, 1 towards mid, as the entire execution is heading towards side B itself. Caramel is making sure that he gets all that kind of information and then moving towards mid. There's 1 player inside the shadow, Specs. Last time he was rewarded with a hefty amount, getting a couple of frags with the beloved Guardian, and now he gets the first one. The second one won't be possible as Doctor, he's going to shut him down. Smoker on the other end, he's been perished as well. Muffin Senpai, good trades all across, and one by one, the entire lot of 120 FPS, they're down to the last player, Greeny. Can this Green Hulk do something? No, he cannot. Muffin Senpai to the rescue. First his ultimate, then his fragging potential onto 2 players, and that's where 120 FPS could not tally what just happened with them.
Yeah. They only had 40 seconds left. And the bad part about FPS is that usually in 40 seconds you had to be on the site, right? You have to execute, you need to clear out the places, ensure that none of those lines of sight has been, looked upon, especially when you go in for the spike plant. Didn't happen. They just kept rotating, right? Caramel was there. Caramel's distraction really worked out, making them think that, maybe they are pushing in towards A, but looks like the
Good frag.
the good frags are favoring for the side of TC once again.
Tried Caramel. Too deep. There comes a snake bite to evade whatever is coming from the back lines. And the execution is there towards heaven. And look at that, Snowflakes. Having a CCTV camera right there. Getting all the insights, the information. He's currently telling us the man who's sitting on the top is looking at everything. Snowflakes right around the corner, gets a second peek, but he could not win that one, unfortunately. Specs on the other end, he is doing all the damage control. Caramel, this time, you had to look back. It was your idea to look way too deep and head over heels. It's gonna be the Covenant. Currently very happy with the performance. Potentially can get the 5th round. Smoker, he's the only lone man standing in the middle of all of that. He needs to win his aim duels, but unfortunately it's Specs bringing in the cleanup crew with the 4th frag of his own.
Round in the
Yep,
half.
5-6. Last round before roll swap in the first half of Deciders. You clearly see that the tensions that is brewing around these 2 teams. Knowing that elimination is near. Not talking about Nier as the player though. Nier was just exceptional. 11 kills as the initiator. As the last round will be in play. Smoker having the judge in hand. And also I have to say that there's 2 ultimates currently being present. The Viper's Pit from Deadly from the shadows for Omen and Smoker. Man, explosive push. Gets the first. No flex. Bye-bye. Goes away.
Oh!
Viper's Pit present on mid. An
Hello
explosive
there.
push from FPS. This could cause havoc for the side of the Covenant.
It is indeed. And Specs is still around the corner, but not this time. He's been shut down by Doxer nonetheless. Last man standing, lurking around the corner. Sonic, he's still available. Gets the first frag, knows where Caramel is. His whereabouts known, clear, but the double swing is the part where Sonic cannot capitalize. Getting 7th one on board, and the first half, it's over.
5-7. It's 120 FPS who have ended the first half with a lead of their own. Another pistol round, and that lead grows in size, making it difficult for the side of the Covenant to arrive.
Oh, this is a nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like for these 2 teams, it's really like tensions all over. Lower brackets, I always expected to see, a huge matchup that could go all the way towards the deciders. And yet another factoid, once again, Muffin Senpai is renowned for precise utility usage, disrupting enemy plans and creating openings for the Covenant.
Muffin Senpai it is.
Muffins all the way.
Muffins all the way. Wow, Factoid today has been acting out. It's giving all kind of information.
It's just too much info. Like
Way
my
too
brain
much.
can't even process sometimes. It's just so much info. No.
Oh, Smoker. Good point of contact right off the bat, and he has forced the opponent to come forward because of the paint shell. Getting the spike in control. There comes another response. The retaliation equally good. But look at Greeny. My God. He's already hunkered down thinking that now is the time to shine. But unfortunately, it's the other player who got the spike. Look at the control. It has already been seized. Yes, the corners. It needs to be checked. But Greeny, last moment, he got greedy. Thought about going for the knife. But unfortunately, it's all down to the 1v1 where 120 FPS. They're going to clutch it out and get the second pistol round on their name.
Yep, this grows near. I mean, the lead grows near. As for the side of FPS, they just need enough rounds to secure map number 3 split. Broken. Oh, no, not broken by. Sorry, this is the round
Bonus.
next to it. After.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
Yeah, it's a bonus. Well,
Cannot say broken.
Bulldogs and Spectres, Guardians from Caramel. Yeah. A lot of thrifty rounds were secured from 120 FPS nonetheless, right? A lot of thrifty
Same
rounds.
thing goes for even the other side as well, the Covenant.
Yeah, not a lot though if you compare it though on second map and third. So
Yeah.
FPS still has the advantage, and you can clearly see that Smoker's aggression, it never stops, and having only classics in hand, it's gonna be difficult for them to contest. He's in it for the
Second
quad.
picture.
Can he secure it? Yes, he does. Quad will be secure. Meanwhile, Caramel just says, yeah. Was trying to give you an ace, but unfortunately he was far away from our location, so sorry.
Smoker's second ace has been denied.
Yeah, second
ace.
Second ace.
He's gonna go home upset today saying that I'm gonna get PTSDs regarding this. But finally, let's talk about the bigger picture, the brighter perspective.
You know, there's like a Wolverine meme. He's just it's basically like Smoker is just looking at a picture with an ace written on it, and he's just missing the ace.
Oh.
It's that moment though.
You've made it even more hurtful now. It's gonna haunt him.
No, it won't.
And I'm hoping that this entire situation is gonna be easy on TC, the Covenant. They have the buy round, and if they get denied, and you never know, they might bring in the thrifty round coming forth. But this round is very vital. It's important to embark the journey of comeback. But Caramel, good shots all across, gets the first frag, and now Muffin Senpai, he's stuck in this pickled up situation where Nier is going to be capitalizing on him. There's shots fired all across, 3 players in the midst of it. Smoker gets snowflakes, the one lone wolf who was away from the pack. Specs, last man standing, backstab comes in and Caramel shuts him down. Just one weapon lost, look at that. We were talking about the giveaway, right? 2x1000, where how you can get those skins and whatnot. That's right, guys. Valorant, that's all you have to type on either of the stories on the Esports Club's social media. But the night market is right here.
Yeah,
they had free weapons towards mid.
So many weapons up for grabs. And I have to say, for Smoker, he just had a very strong breakfast though, not gonna lie. 18 kills.
Breakfast for winners.
Yes. Breakfast. I mean, the grenades, the fault lines, the aggressiveness from Smoker, it just doesn't stop. He's still pushing aggro. Individual fights, he's up against 1v3. Flashes are present, but not a good way though.
Yeah.
Not a good value coming out of it.
Shake hands, part way.
Yeah.
Shake hands, part way. Because this round is already going far away. 120 FPS, Docs are lurking down in the middle, and Deadly, of course, is going to be proven lethal. Gets that frag, but the follow-up is there. Greeny is still around the corner. Sonic waiting for the weapon upgrade, and from now on, Greeny, all eyes on him. He wins that duel, but Deadly, he's still good. He is good for yet another player. 120 FPS. The sky is way too low on HP. It's Caramel who needs to do the heavy lifting. Checking around the corner, gets one frag. And now Deadly, he's been doing the God's work for the squad. But unfortunately, he cannot keep up the pace of Caramel. As he fades away, becomes a tree.
11-5, second half. Unexpected turnarounds. As the Covenant had such great control in the first half, but right now it's just not working out for him. Man, tactical timeout. Tactical timeout from the side of the Covenant. They really need this because they had such great momentums in the first half. Unfortunately, it's been put to a stop by none other than Smoker and Caramel, the double duos of destruction, yet again slowly making their ways in towards map split as the entire momentum of the Covenant has been split apart. But hopefully, in this timeout, they will bring it back together and hope to find another way to bring that lead back again. Will it happen or will it not? You just have to find out once this timeout comes to an end.
Oh, tough competition, man. Tough competition. Nobody's letting go anything. The Covenant, they're woken up. They're taking matters in their own hands. Yes, they are. And with the buy that they have, it's limited resource. They need to win this round in order to get the buys in the next following one. Else they have to cheap out on things. They need to bring in sheriffs, half shields, and still somehow manage to wait and count upon those enemies' weapons. You don't show your back, Sonic. If you want to get away, you bunny hop backwards. Don't look behind, as the enemies are always going to be on your throat. Muffin Senpai for now gets the control towards the side as the entire team of 120 FPS, they're going to be playing the retake perfectly. Looking at the shots, Smoker, he's good for 3. All of a sudden, Specs, he's inside the smoke, he's been bounced right off. Shorty in hand for Specs, he wins it. It's a 1v2. Can he clutch it out? Specs goes in from the shadows, heads towards the other side, and from there on, the post plant is going to come right in. So the bonus, it's one of the things that they are counting upon, and they get it for this round.
Yep. Clutch opportunity. Oh no,
Oh my
location's
God.
been revealed.
It's been
This
big.
is not good. 31 HP. He needs to rotate quickly. He only has one teleport to try to use it as a fake. It's a 1v2 situation. Very low on HP. Smoke's been placed. He could try to play around it. Not a lot of utilities left. No smokes. No paranoia.
doing?
Just a trusty phantom. The location that he's currently in is very far away. So maybe he might be able to use the teleport once he finds Caramel's location. This could be huge.
There is
No,
nothing.
both of them is near.
There is nothing at his disposal. And through the smoke, there comes the plant, and Caramel will swing it. Gets the diffusal at the nick of the time, and Caramel, well, credit where credit is due. He even has his ultimate as well. Neural theft. Hence, stealing, deciphering, robbing the opponent's information, and leaking their positions to his allies.
Man, Smoker just woke up and chose violence. It's just non-stop. 21 kills the second half as you witness. Raze's aggressive plays is just unstoppable. And I believe it continues to grow ever so slightly. Ultimate Ore has been captured, realizing the information on players' whereabouts. You still have one of the attackers still playing in towards the lurks, giving them some information. But you can clearly see that Caramel is just doing God's work. 2 kills. You have Near with the info. Trailblazer catching. Information gathered. Neural theft just doing its work. And he
It's
will
gone.
see Caramel just popping things out left, right, and center, which leads to Specs once again to clutch it out in an unfortunate 1v3. And it's so unfortunate that it had to be this way. 5-13. Amazing performance from the side of the Covenant, but unfortunately, they have to bow out from this competition. And what a way for the side of Team 120 FPS to show their utter dominance in the second half of this series.
Very well tried, man. Very well tried. They enjoyed the entire time while it lasted. For the likes of the Covenant, it was a really good try, but ultimately it is 120 FPS. The revamped edition is one of the things that every single one of them is fearing in this tournament segment. And yeah, for sure they're proving to be lethal. So yeah, what can I say, man? I'm not able to wrap things around my head, but I believe crucial moments will help us out.
Yep, let's take a look at the crucial moments once again and capture the most important highlights on map number 3 split. Yes, we did get to see a lot of amazing performance. It was like back-to-back round wins. Snowflake doing his work, Specs doing the other. But it was 120 FPS nonetheless who did end up winning the matchup and proceeding into the lower bracket finals, where he has to wait for the second lower bracket matchup, which will also be an interesting one between Team Asterisk versus Untitled. Who's it going to be? But all in all, this matchup though, map number 3, second half is where the side of the Covenant crumbled. Like entirely. Pistol round and the round next to it, it was just Smoker, just utter dominance.
Usually we say, right, in the map of Split, mid is the place where you have to capitalize.
Yeah.
They could not do that.
Yeah, we didn't see it in the first half as well.
Yes, they were playing so suppressed. It's like someone just told them, do not enter towards mid. If you enter towards mid, there's going to be a really good trade coming through. But that's the same thing that they can initiate as well. And from there on, they could not get the control. Hence, the site was a pickle, man. To get the site, enter in, go for the post plant, it's always tough. Especially once the man count advantage is there towards the opponent's side. And that's most of the time that we could see. 120 FPS, they were running around, getting those frags, and post that, the Covenant, they were baffled, they were dumbfounded.
Yeah. And like you said, the entire mid fight that we saw on the second half, it was just basically Smoker being home alone. And next thing you know, there's just the rest of the enemies are just patiently waiting to make their mark.
Yep.
And the traps just played so well in a way that Smoker ended up getting multi-kills after multi-kills. 3k, 4k. And of course, there was almost an ace in which it was stolen from Caramel. But nonetheless, it all went well as we take a look at the scoreboard here once more on map number 3 Split. Amazing matchups in the lower brackets. And yeah, 13-5 and 120 FPS. They head on in towards the lower brackets matchup.
Usually people say, right, third time's a charm.
Yeah.
This was the third time. Split. Could have gone either ways, but it's gone for the likes of 120 FPS itself. Smoker getting 21 kills, 13 deaths, and 1 assist. First kills being 5. And Specs, from the previous game, he was continuing his wrath to be the notorious out there and devilish when it comes to playing around the smoke areas. So 19 kills rewarded to him. Unfortunately, not the entire match.
Yep. And also a huge kudos to the supports, especially Greeny. 7 assists, and I believe that is 8 kills in total, man. The fort line was just on point. Every single time you see a fort line from the beach, there's always 1 or 2 players who are currently caught. Let's take a look at the MVP of the matchup as well and see, I believe it should be none other than Smoke as well. Yeah, there you go. 5 first kills, 21 kills in total, 3.7k damage and 28% headshot.
They were out here to farm bodies is what I can say. Getting all of those frags, Smoker, previous game as well, good performance, and from there on he's just having that roller coaster effect. But talking about the MVP of the series, I want to know who is it gonna be? Who is it, guys? If you all know, please let us know. I am hoping it's Caramel, but okay, it's Smoker. Yes, he's gonna be rewarded with 55 kills, ACS of 266, ADR of 167.47, first kills being 12 in total, 3 maps altogether. And unfortunately, it's on Manoj.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was about to say Smoke Manoj. Smoker, 55 kills, 12 first kills. My man was he was on the road. He was unstoppable. Although his presence on map number 1 and map number 2 was not that much. But on map 3, Split, man, it was just him all along. It was a montage moment for him.
Even Haven.
Even
he got
Haven,
aces,
yes.
He got 4Ks.
Oh yeah, he's playing as
him.
Neon. Yes,
Exactly.
I actually forgot about that. Yeah,
he was
man.
running around mayhem.
Just amazing performance though from the side of 120 FPS. They will ensure to secure the next phase, and hopefully they might have a revenge match up against Amigos, who are still. We will get to see that in tomorrow, right? Amigos versus 10-7. That will be an amazing match to look at. But we still have one more lower brackets matchup. It will be up against Team Asterisk versus Untitled. Once again, for the side of the Covenant, well played. It's the amazing coordination, their teamworks, performances from Specs, who was just so good on map number 2 Haven. But unfortunately, they have to bow out of this competition. But all in all, great performance. I just can't wait to see them in the next season. Well, if we get the Showdown series.
Well, for now, the first game is already ended, right? We know which team is it who will be stepping right out, and that's going to be the Covenant. Congratulations, 120 FPS, on making it yet again. Now, the next upcoming match, super important, super vital, but before all of that, for you guys to upgrade your PCs, these are the two major difference makers. First off being the RAM, well, amazing. High class action, 1.75x times faster speed than an average DDR4. It is, of course, CL46 5600 RAM sticks from the likes of Crucial. So go ahead, check all the descriptions. The link is down there in the description below, alongside in the chat section as well. Click on it, understand your product, and buy it.
And of course, let's not forget about the SSDs from the side of Crucial X9 Pro Portable with a blazing fast speed up to 1050 megabytes per second. Amazing products coming in from the side of Crucial. I cannot wait to get those products in my hand as well. And you can have that too. Make sure to check it out. Link is down in the description below and also on the pinned comments.
True that. And you know, talking about the spawn, right? It has been amazing all across, the amount of information, the insights that we're getting. And look at us, man. It just looks like we are so sharp and crisp. All thanks to the production. And yes, these are the things that are gone behind it. It is powered by Brainstorm, designed by Fury, and beautifully executed by the Esports Club, where the esports is done right.
Absolutely. With that, we will be taking our leave for today. But don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be having another important lower brackets matchup, which will happen. Until then, we'll be taking our leave, and we will see you at the next match.
Your system. All right, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.